the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Texas and Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Scott, Sportsworthy, and Brian Davis.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. Landon Schmidt producing. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours. A lot to get into. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It will take place later tonight in Indianapolis. We've got a lot of baseball going on, a lot of day ball happening this afternoon. The U.S. Open. We're just half a day away from that getting started tomorrow morning. We'll have to make picks a little bit later in the show and talk a lot about it. So a lot going on around the sports world. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. 5:45 tomorrow morning Memphis time. First tee times. Y'all going to be live tweeting it?
Absolutely not.
Landon?
I don't even know.
I'll give it a go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's why he's golf expert.
Exactly right. Yeah. No,
So I'm going to take
it.
that as a personal challenge, so I'm 100% going to be live tweeting.
Get
tomorrow.
ready for 6.5 hour rounds tomorrow.
No, it's going to be long. USA for when you're looking for it tomorrow morning. You can watch it on USA at 5:30 tomorrow morning.
That early?
That
I didn't know that.
I just saw it on the website. USA Thursday 5:30 a.m. So there you go.
Give me all the tools for
USA
success right
on
here.
directs up there in the 240s or so.
I don't have direct, so you'll have to find it. I just want to know.
I can tell you the last time I was at the USA Network.
I can tell you the last time I was there was A10 conference basketball late in the season.
Look at you.
Yeah, they have the A10 for basketball. So I'm there. You watch a lot of Law and Order on USA. It feels like that's the only thing that's on USA.
Never watched one second of the Law and Order.
Good show. Trent Phillips, Kevin Velo, and Matt Vaught are your three that are going to be teeing off at 5:45.
We got 1 and 10 too, though.
That's right. So then you got Zach Blair, Scott Vincent, and Alistair Doherty.
Very good.
All right.
Very good. Good luck.
I will not be picking any of those
Swing
guys
hard is all I can tell
that
them.
will be teeing off tomorrow morning.
Two Ole Miss players will be playing,
That's
including the NCAA champion. Can you imagine the first tee jitters?
Yeah, and on this course, I'll pass.
Oh man,
I don't know. This is it's
big
a weird
crowd
tournament
around, formally
every year.
announced.
Yeah, and then it all gets
gotta hit
started, and you gotta try your best out there. That's really all anybody can do, I guess.
Yeah,
but they're
in the U.S. Open.
They're in there for a reason. They're miles and miles better. They don't need me giving them pointers.
First tee jitters are real.
Yeah, no. Oof. Yeah, I can't even imagine having to play on this course. But
and try to finish.
Yeah. I mean,
How many golf balls would you go through?
Me personally, there's no talent. I'd need unlimited amount of balls. I mean,
3 a hole?
I have a problem, Brett, where if I'm playing a round of golf and my ball goes somewhere in the bushes or in the long grass or whatever, if I can't find it after about 15 seconds, I'm pulling another ball out of my pocket.
Very good.
And we're moving on. I'm not there to look for a ball.
I didn't know you had a golf ball deal with somebody. I never heard you do the spot.
No. If someone wants to come to the table, by all means, I'm here for
There's
it.
There's Titleist rep in town.
But I have an unfortunate buying spree, I guess, before every time I go and play a
Brian,
round of
you
golf.
know how much both of us love Coach Tommy West.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And can't wait. I was texting with him the other day on a subject matter, and he's ready for Wednesdays at 3:30 with us again this year. And the Titleist rep, when he was the head coach of the Tigers, it was unlimited golf balls. I mean, unlimited.
That's the type of deal I need.
And on a CTW, Coach Tommy West.
That's great. That's great.
If you'd play with him, he'd give you a couple sleeves.
That's awesome.
Jerry West had a deal in town. You know the number on it, 44.
Of course. Well, that makes sense. No, I need some sort of deal like that because I will, anytime I'm going to play a round of golf, I will make sure to go to the store, stock up on the golf ball so that I know I don't have any worries when I'm not going to go
I
look
do
for
not
a
need
ball.
a golf ball deal because the rest of my natural days, I can't see me playing enough to potentially lose more than about 10 golf balls
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it is close to over.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But I'll find golf ball. Like if I see a couple, I'll pocket them. I'm not afraid.
In
of-
a
of
second.
taking
Yeah.
a couple golf balls. So it all kind of evens out. At the end of the day, it all kind of evens out. The amount I lose, the amount I find, it's all fun. But no, we'll talk a lot of golf a little bit later in the show. John Goen will join us at 4:00. We'll talk
Picks,
a lot about this.
double
and
money.
then we'll make picks. It's a big week for picks with that double and quad for your second pick.
Potentially, I'm going to say the winner Sunday night, 4.5 million or so.
I'll take it.
So second pick, that's 20.
I'll take it any day. I'll take that. You don't need it, Landon.
That means Landon runs off and hides if it's
Exactly.
him or
You'd
new
be in
ball
the
game.
lead. If you win it, Brett, you'd be in the lead with your quad.
Any of us
Yeah,
would.
you're exactly right.
Any of us would be in the lead winning that.
It's a big week.
I guess so. And it will get started early tomorrow.
We'll see
morning.
how Landon would do having to back to picking first.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't
I
think
think I'm really far away from picking first.
I was about to say. I think it would take.
For now, you are.
I think it would
For
take a
now,
lot
yeah.
for you to go all the way back down to the end. But it
Hey,
will be fun.
I'll throw a party when I pick third.
Okay.
If that even
Oh,
happens.
wow, that's big talk.
That is big talk.
Big talk.
On a Wednesday, isn't it?
Hey, confidence is there. I like
is.
it. I like it. Well, tonight, Game 3 of the NBA Finals will get kicked off about 7:30, 7:40 or so on ABC as this series shifts the other way. It goes to Indiana, all tied up 1-1. We've talked about it a lot. For the Pacers, they did exactly what they wanted to do, just get one on the road, and now they've got to try to put up a fight at home. Underdogs going into Game 3, but we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight.
We'll see if it was a fluke, if it was an outlier, or if we're really going to have a competitive, fun NBA Finals.
Yeah, and I think the start is very important for the Pacers. I don't think I think we saw it in last game where OKC was not pulling their starters till about 2 minutes left in that game.
They wanted to send a sign.
They wanted to send a sign, and they wanted to let Indiana know, you are never going to come back against us again. We are not going to give you that opportunity. And so it's got to be, we've been talking about it a couple times. I think it was Brian Geltzeiler on with us yesterday that kind of said they really haven't played. It's kind of been 2 bad games for Indiana. It was just they had that really good fourth quarter in Game 1, able to come back. So it needs to be a more complete game for Indiana tonight, but certainly at home, you should get a boost from the crowd. It should make some of those guys a little more comfortable playing at home. And, if you look at, the past series for OKC, it's been the road games that have given them some trouble. You go back to the Grizzlies, even though it was a sweep, we know that the game John Morant got injured in, Grizzlies were in complete control of that one. He gets injured, the entire momentum is taken out of the arena, and OKC comes back and wins that game. Against the Nuggets, 2 losses on the road against Denver, and then last series against Minnesota, they got beat pretty good, 143-101 on the road in Minnesota. So this OKC team has shown at times on the road they can come up a little short, can come out a little flat, and maybe we see that tonight against the Pacers.
Yeah, those 2 games here, the big lead up as much as 29, then I think they finally 26 in the second half. From the jaw injury on, it took the fun out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the killer.
Place was rocking before that, real fun, and felt like, maybe Saturday, get this to 2-2. Then Saturday was the biggest sense of dread, and a person in the building, I said it feels like a funeral, and they said because it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, the moment that John Morant went down with the injury,
Season was over.
It was over. I mean, and everyone knew it was over. And, you could try to go through it and go, series isn't over yet, but you knew right when that happened that what was coming, especially when OKC was able to finish that comeback and win that game. You certainly knew it was over. They made it
But
clear.
don't blame Scottie Pippen for passing the ball.
No.
Wasn't his fault. He got hurt.
It wasn't. It was one of those freak things that happens, and it was unfortunate. But no, I'm excited about tonight, and looking at these guys for Indiana. You go back and you look at last game where Tyrese Halliburton, only 17 points, 7 for 13, 12 of those points in the fourth quarter. Pascal Siakam, only 15 points, 3 for 11. Your stars have to be a lot better if you're Indiana against
that
this
was
OKC
lame
team.
stat lines.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and you can't have that.
That's how you get beat that bad.
Exactly. And so you've got to have better showings from those 2 guys. And, because you know how deep OKC is. You know that they can go to multiple guys. I mean, we talked about it. Alex Caruso with 20 points off the bench in game 2. You know how deep they are. So your stars have to be playing their A-plus game. And then those rotation guys do their thing, play a little better, and then you're competitive. But you can't go out there and be, one of your stars be 3 for 11 from the field.
I was entirely joking about Ja going to games in Oxford for that. But this weekend now with what he's tweeting, we'll ask Clayton Collier this when we visit with him at 3:30. It kind of feels like Ja might make an appearance.
How about that? I saw that tweet. A lot of people reposting that tweet when Murray State clinched it on Monday. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to talk to Clayton here in a little bit in our next segment. It's going to be fun. We know, Rocco's takes center stage. We know the action's going to be good
up
there.
Maybe keep Ja out of there.
Maybe.
Just walk by there with your gold Amex and let it work.
Yeah, have someone run in and run it a couple times.
We don't need a Rocco's.
No. But it'll be fun. And so I hope he makes it up there and has fun with his old team in Murray. And that's going to be a fun story that a lot of people are going to be talking about throughout the weekend.
I wonder if they have a radio crew. They did not have one in Oxford.
Yeah. You mentioned that to me after that series, and it really surprised me.
You got to send a basketball guy and somebody up there for
when you're
Omaha,
in
don't
Omaha, you find somebody. You make space. You find someone that can do baseball, and you send them up. I'll have to look that up. I really do not know, but you would imagine that they're going to send somebody up there to cover everything Murray State over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. I already saw. I think we talked about this yesterday, but. And I still don't understand who this group is, but it might be something in terms of like NIL partnership with Murray State. But they have already gone out there and bought 100 Jell-O shots before anybody's even up in Omaha. They have taken it among themselves and said, we're going to buy 100, give you an early lead. But, Brett, we know who everyone's going to be chasing, and that's LSU.
Not even close.
Nah, I mean, it's not going to be not even going to be fun. I don't think.
Don't tug on Superman's cape.
No. And
don't get up there and make LSU fans mad and make them try to hurt themselves.
I saw a video on social media yesterday. It's a video that I had not seen before. It was from 2 years ago when they were in the College World Series, when LSU was in the College World Series.
Yeah, and I keep trying to make them going for back-to-back when they're not. Tennessee won it last year.
Tennessee last year, it was LSU 2 years ago. But it was a video from Rocco's, and they were updating the whiteboard. And they, get to LSU, they erase their number, and they're going, and they write the number, and everyone in there. I mean, it's like 80% of Rocco's is LSU fans. They all erupt. Someone has a trumpet and starts firing up the trumpet and plays neck, of course. But they fire. I was like, who brought the trumpet into Rocco's? I mean,
of course they did.
It's gonna be a time up there for LSU fans.
Neck will be on loop.
Oh, of course. But I mean, if you were showing up to Hoover, what were we talking about? 5-6 days before they even took the field? Imagine what Omaha is going to be. It's going to be electric.
They take it serious.
They sure do.
I love them,
as they should. I guess it's
even the ones
party all the time.
Rather boisterous to us.
Well, yes, they're loud. That is for sure.
SEC ACC Challenge matchups out.
Okay, give it to me.
At John Rothstein's official site.
Let's hear it.
Florida at Duke, national champ. Boy, Duke is lining up a schedule, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And that one's at Cameron Indoor, and Duke won there last year against Auburn, one of the few wins. North Carolina at Kentucky.
Okay.
Virginia at Texas. NC State. Mino Will Wade at Auburn.
Oh, wow.
Clemson at Bama. U of L at Arkansas.
Ooh.
Classic NCAA tournament matchups they've had.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, including U.S. Reed's half-court shot to win in 81 in Austin. OU at Wake. SMU at Vandy. A&M at Pitt. Mississippi State at Georgia Tech. Miami, the U, at Ole Miss.
Oh.
LSU at Boston College. Virginia Tech at South Carolina. Tennessee at Syracuse.
That was last year's ACC matchup too, I think.
Was
SEC, it? SEC, or maybe it was just a non-conference, but I'm pretty sure
they're
Tennessee
opening
and
in football.
Played. Yeah, I'm
Big
pretty
orange
sure
and
they
orange.
played last year in basketball.
It's a lot of orange.
Yeah, it sure is.
Mizzou at Notre Dame and Georgia at FSU.
Okay. Wow, there are some really fun ones in
the
there.
ACC will have a better year than last year.
Oh yeah, no,
Prediction.
I'll put my money on
Speaking,
ACC improving.
We're going to have mid-year predictions coming up soon. And top story, local and national
Holy
of the
cow.
first half coming
Holy
soon.
cow.
Just thought of it.
Jeez, it feels like just a month ago we were doing our top
We'll be
stories
doing that
for
in
the
2
entire
weeks.
year. Holy cow, that's hard to believe. But I guess that's where we are. We're at the midway point of the year. But no, some of those get me really excited. I mean, Florida, Duke, obviously, North Carolina, Kentucky, for good reason. NC State and Auburn, that will be a really fun game. And
Pearl versus Wade.
two certainly fun coaches.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. A lot of
That
scheduling
crowd
news
at
coming out for
Auburn
college
will
basketball.
be all over him.
Oh yeah,
Toughest
Oh,
place to play in the league now.
It really has been. I mean, it's impressive, and it's reflection of how good that team has been and getting everybody really into get into the basketball program down at Auburn. So those are some really fun matchups, and it really does feel like a lot of scheduling news coming out for college basketball. And you mentioned earlier, we were talking about before the show started, a lot of TV times continue to roll out for college football. So
SEC with more times, now with basically controlling, ESPN, ABC, and SEC Network through ESPN, they can have these times set. And they're not. It's not as that 12 days or even 6-day window. Still some of that, but a lot set, including. We now know that Arkansas will host, and the kickoff will be against Notre Dame at 11 o'clock Saturday, September 27th.
That's early.
That is early.
That's early.
That night will be Georgia and Alabama on ABC.
Of course. It makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world.
They didn't announce the afternoon window yet.
Okay. So, hey, we're getting a little better idea of what some of these days will look like in the fall for college football. It's a lot of fun. You can almost kind of start making plans of not even necessarily being at places, but just what am I going to watch on
Utah
my couch?
State Vandy all set.
Oh man,
11:45 SEC Network.
Everyone's been waiting for that. I know there was a line waiting for that start time. But yeah, it is fun getting all of these times out there. Well, we got a busy show planned today, so let me get to it before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Clayton Collier from WOWT6 News in Omaha. You remember our buddy Clayton, his time here in Memphis. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of College World Series with him as he is covering another one up in Omaha. It's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll get to a lot of College World Series with him. 3:45, we'll talk more about the NBA Finals. Game 3 tonight in Indiana between the Pacers and the Thunder. 4 o'clock, John Gowen from Timber Trust. He'll join us, talk some golf, and make picks for the U.S. Open that gets started very early tomorrow morning. 4:30, we'll talk some baseball. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Rob Fisher from the Grizzlies FanDuel Sports Network will join us to talk a lot of NBA. We'll talk a little Grizzlies as well, including the injury that we all learned about over the weekend to Zach Edey in that surgery. We got more information about that Grizzlies PR putting out last night that he will be reevaluated in 4 months. So you take that 4 months from last night when that was posted, that would be October 10th. Again,
sign me up for that.
Well, reevaluated is very different than likely to return or anything like that. I would be shocked if he's anywhere close to being ready to go.
So the 4 months reevaluation date.
Then we'll get a new date.
Gets kicked to what?
I would say probably. I'm thinking late November, early December,
6
probably.
weeks.
Yeah, something around there would probably be at least
the Grizzlies
ideal.
did this to themselves.
They certainly did.
With nobody trusting those dates.
They absolutely did. So we'll talk a lot about that with Rob Fisher. We'll also talk the NBA Finals and some of the news going around the NBA. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending, and at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's pool time, and Family Leisure is already booking pool installs for 2025. Buy now and get on the list for your pool installation. 2024 pool starting at $19.99 installed, with liners starting at $299, and right now, all pool accessories up to 20% off. 5 to 6 person hot tubs starting at $69.99, with swim spas and cold plunge tubs now $2,000 off. Don't forget about patio furniture. Select sets now up to 50% off. And if you mention this ad, get free installation only at Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
He's Brian. I'm Brett. We're Sports Time. Our producer's Landon Schmidt, and we're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will join us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. With Father's Day approaching this weekend, go visit the great people at Family Leisure. We're always in our Family Leisure studios, and we appreciate them so very much. And this hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Give them a call at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis. It's at 2600 Ridgeway, where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it's got to be Game 3 of the NBA Finals later tonight. Pacers and Thunder. We know what the first two games had in store. It was a split. It was the heroics from Tyrese Halliburton in Game 1 and the domination from OKC in Game 2. So what do we see tonight? Do we see more domination from OKC on the road, or do we see a better performance by the Indiana Pacers? I think just being at home, having that fan base behind them, it feels like it's going to be an electric atmosphere. It feels like they'll be a little more comfortable in that setting rather than being on the road. But like we mentioned a couple minutes ago, your stars have to produce. A 3-for-11 shooting performance from Pascal Siakam cannot happen at home. Tyrese Halliburton, be a little more aggressive earlier. Get after it more. 7 for 13, 12 of your points being had in the fourth quarter. You gotta be more aggressive than that at home. And we talked a lot after Game 2 about the three-point shooting for Indiana. That's been a strong point for this Pacers team, is how well they've been shooting the ball from deep. But you look at these starters: 1 for 4 from Pascal Siakam, 1 for 5 from Miles Turner, 1 for 4 from Andrew Nembhard. You go to the bench, Obi Toppin, 1 for 5. It was a very poor shooting performance. They end up making 14. They're 14 for 40, but it's because pretty much everyone made at least one. They just missed a ton of them, resulting in only 35% from 3. So you'd like to see a better shooting performance from deep and maybe some more aggressive play from your two stars. We'll see if we get that tonight.
We will see. All-important Game 3 tonight. That's my top story as well. We know the odd number games in a 7-game series matter. Game 1 mattered because we thought it gave us a series. Game 3 will matter to see if we can continue on pace to having a series. Historic for Indiana. They can go up 2-1. They've never led an NBA Finals series 2-1. Led 1-0, but back in 2000, they were lucky to scratch out the 2 wins they got against the Lakers. But they can go up 2-1, and that will give them a real shot at maybe pulling the upset. Without it down 2-1, then this will be the 4-1 or 4-2 series for Oklahoma City that most everyone expected. Can you imagine some sweet day we're sitting in this studio, we're in this town, and we're in the NBA Finals, and the Grizzlies with a chance to go up 2-1 in the NBA Finals? One of these days it happens.
Come on.
One of these days.
Sign me up for it. I mean, you're right. Indiana's got to be feeling really good about being back at home.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it's got to be Major League Baseball. It's pretty much what we were all watching last night with not really anything else on, and it was a fun night around the country. And today we've got a lot of day action going on right now. Blue Jays up 5-2 over the Cardinals. They were winners again last night, 10-9. It was another...
It's maddest I've been at the Cardinals all year.
Kind of another late surge for the Cardinals last night, but just too little, too late. Couldn't get it done.
Score 9 and lose.
It's hard to do. Can't blame the bats, Brett. I mean, it's 9 runs most times out. You feel pretty good about it.
10-9's our score. That was the score of the David Freese game.
That's right.
We can't lose 10-9.
Well, unfortunately, that was the case last night. But you look at some of those other games around Major League Baseball last night, some really fun games. Reds 1-0. Andrew Abbott, a complete game shutout for him. Only 3 hits allowed. He was looking really good. The Mets with a big win over the Nationals in extra innings last night, 5-4. It was a game where they trailed and then were able to rally late. Yankees all over the Royals. We talked a lot about Dodgers and Padres last night. Padres all over the Dodgers, 11-1. It was a really fun night of Major League Baseball. Today's day action has been good, and it will be another really fun weekend of Major League Baseball.
And a lot of the players playing at Oakmont Minwoo Lee throughout the opening pitch last night in Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
Really good scene to see a lot of the PGA professionals at the ballpark last night. My not top story is the U.S. Open starting tomorrow morning at 5:45 Memphis time. I might be up. I don't know if I know I won't be live tweeting. I don't know how into it I will be at 5:45, but it will be a long day of golf tomorrow and Friday to win the field down to the weekend participants and for the drama that will lead into the weekend. Low man's going to win. We know that. But what's the score going to be? Feels like it's going to be plus something. Yep. Maybe around par. -3 looks spectacular right now.
Yeah. Well, and I think we know who everyone's picking for, and I think I know who you're going to be picking here in less than an hour.
You can go ahead and write it down.
We can go ahead and write it down. You're
Scotty
Scheffler,
first pick.
Yeah. I don't think that surprises anybody. We'll get to those picks a little bit later, around 4:20 or so, during our segment with John Goen. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've had Golf Channel on in here the last couple of days, and
Rex Hogger will be with us tomorrow.
That's right. He sure will. So it will be
Hope he's not supposed to be on the set at 3:30 tomorrow because he's booked with me at us tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be good. I would think maybe tomorrow a little different because you actually have action going on. Yeah, today it's still all the what are we going to expect to see?
He jumped right at 3:30. Was fine with him.
Well, I'm excited.
Glad I didn't ask for 3:30 today.
No. He certainly would not have been able to go 3:30 today. But always fun when we talk with Rex Hogger.
That might be in the can too.
It could be. If I was better, I would try to look at shadows and stuff like that. I'm not good at any of that.
Me either.
Maybe someone can tell us if this is live or not. I don't see anything on the screen that says it's live. So
I don't see a live bug. That might be
shadows suggest it looks like it's about just past noon, maybe 1 o'clock.
Look at you! I mean, what in the world?
Got a little bit of meteorology in me.
Okay. Well, past noon. All right. Okay. Well, then,
I would say about 1 o'clock, maybe.
All right. Well, then maybe pre-recorded.
Okay.
We'll ask Rex Hogger tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Let's get to a break, and when we return, we're talking the College World Series up in Omaha. Clayton Collier, he joins us next.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of area jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by area just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier is the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Online radio show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Nancy Porter with 24/7 Sports. Former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Moore covering SEC sports ball, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Garvey from kickoff coverage through the extra innings. Your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
This traffic report brought to you by Triangle Meat Company, feeding Memphis since 1967. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, 4790 Summer Avenue. Trust Triangle Meat Company.
Good afternoon, T-Dot's out here with a couple of disabled vehicles building pretty good already through Midtown. Here in the last few minutes on 240 over around Chelsea, all that traffic around the 101 connector. This time of the afternoon, building 240 onto 385 Biltmore Parkway. It's looking good right now as you head on back out towards Collierville. Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your diamond engagement ring headquarters this bridal season. Stop by and see them before you see anybody else. That's Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got to talk some College World Series. Omaha is the place to be this week, so we're going to head up there. Our old friend Clayton Collier from WOWT 6 News in Omaha, he joins us now to talk all things College World Series. Clayton, thanks so much for joining us. First off, how you been? It's been a while since we talked to you. I think we talked to you last year around this time. How are things up in Omaha?
Things are going great, guys. Thank you so much for having me. It's a lot of fun around here. It's already getting crazy. All the teams are making their way here to Omaha today. 7 of the 8. Arizona got in last night, but everybody else is flying in right now. So our job as one of the local TV stations is we fly around downtown from hotel to hotel to say hi to them and get some shots of them arriving and some early sound from the coaches.
Clayton, around town, it's got to be like the Super Bowl in town or the Masters hitting Augusta, Georgia. Every year, you know you're going to host this. It's a matter of what teams are in town. Got a lot of new teams in town, but it's got to be a lot of fun for the eyes of the college baseball world and the last really college sports thing of the year to take place. Yeah,
guys, there is nothing like this that I've seen. Last year was my first year here for CWS. Before, I was in Memphis for 6 years before that at WATN, ABC 24 over there. And I got to tell you, this is just special. It's so cool walking around. And the Omaha Baseball Village is such an awesome environment. They've got live music. They've got all these booths. All the little baseball brands that you see along the way throughout the year, they all have like a tent There's the spot to get your Jello shots. There's a Ferris wheel. There's everything all around Charles Schwab Field, Omaha. That's such a cool environment as well. And then you actually get in there for the games, and every pitch feels like game World Series for those fan bases. It's such a cool environment. And if you're a baseball fan, it's definitely a must.
And the ballpark plays big, doesn't it?
It does. Let me tell you, Tennessee made it look small last year.
Yeah, they did.
They came in as the big power hitters, the best power hitting team in baseball, and that was kind of the line on them was, the number one overall seed, hadn't really won here before, and that the power hitters, that's where they go to die is Charles Schwab Field. They said, to heck with that, and they came in here and they won it all, and Peyton Manning was celebrating on the field at the end of it. So I'm curious to see how Arkansas kind of flies into that role as the highest seed remaining. They also have hit, I think, 122 homers this year. They're the most out of anybody still left in the field, and they've got a heck of a game to start off with Arkansas and LSU, two of the most rabid fan bases that we'll have here are all going to be here at once, and they're going to play head-to-head on Saturday night.
You mentioned Arkansas, obviously, covering sports here. You paid attention a lot to the SEC and to Arkansas, and this has been a program that for a while has been a constant in postseason play in Omaha. 12 College World Series appearances, 2 runner-ups. They just haven't been able to get through and win it all. What do you expect from this team? Obviously, the highest overall seed remaining heading to Omaha. What do you make of this Arkansas team, and what do you think about their chances in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, they're far and away the most talented team that we have in this group, but it's not always the most talented team that wins it. So I'm interested to see. I mean, LSU, obviously, we saw what they did to West Virginia, their ability at the plate. That first game is really going to be huge when you have your 2 highest remaining seeded teams playing against each other to start things off. Or at least their first game of everything on Saturday night. That'll be difficult. I'm interested to see, the Friday night half of the bracket looks really wide open. You have Coastal Carolina, you have Arizona starting off. That's a rematch of the 2016 CWS final. That's when the Chanticleers came in as the Cinderella team and then made it. And speaking of Cinderella, you have Louisville and you have Murray State coming here for the first time. I know a lot of people in Memphis excited about that. I mean, you talk about a stadium that holds 800 people. You have a head coach that cuts their own grass on that field, and they're coming out of nowhere as the 4 seed in their regional. They beat Ole Miss, and they come through and beat Duke and make their way out here. Just the 4th team since 1999 when this format came in to be the 4th seed in a regional and make it all the way to CWS. I know they're going to be America's team, and everybody's going to be excited for them. But like I said, that side of the bracket is much more open than when you have an Arkansas and LSU on the other side of it. So the room is there for Murray State to make a run if they want to, if they're able to.
Are you ready for a job appearance in Omaha?
That's what I was wondering. I saw the tweet where he said racing to Omaha, and I was like, is he looking at my my 2023 calendar when I moved out here is what it felt like. It was like a colliding of 2 worlds there. I think I put on my Instagram, I was like, that's the last 8 years of my life in one tweet. John Morant talking about Omaha.
It really is.
But, that would be fun to see. That's the cool part also about this is all the different fan bases, the celebrities that support those teams are alums from them that come out. I mentioned Peyton Manning was a big one last year. I think John Morant would have a lot of fun with CWS here, and Omaha would have a lot of fun with him too.
Yeah, no, that'd be a lot of fun if he was out there. You mentioned some of these teams we're going to see over the weekend, and a big storyline that I've seen people talking about is how none of these 8 teams that are going to Omaha and getting started on Friday were there last year. It's all new teams from last year. Now, there are teams out there. You mentioned the Chanticleers, Oregon State, and their LSU. There are teams that have won it all before, but no teams that were here last year. How much has that been a storyline going into this week of a little bit of new blood coming into Omaha?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it's 1957 was the last year that we had a fresh 8 from the year prior, which that's exciting in and of itself. You saw Florida State was hanging in there. There was one left, but, to get a fresh field when last year, I believe all 8 teams were among the top 12 seeds. So, I mean, you're talking about some really powerful programs that came in last year, and it was 4 SEC, 4 ACC. This year we have 7 different conferences, including Oregon State that was independent this year, that are among those 8 seeds. So it's a complete 180 in terms of the conversation. A lot of last year, some of the narratives were, hey, is college baseball turning into, a 2-conference sport, essentially? And I think that this year kind of put that narrative on its head.
Who will the locals migrate to? Will it be the underdog story of Murray State or what?
I think that everybody here always loves an underdog from talking around town. I think Coastal Carolina definitely is one that people still remember and root for in that respect. So I think Murray State will find themselves very welcomed here. That said, LSU is known as the team that comes in and that local businesses want to see LSU make it because of how big they show up and get hotels and all that. Arkansas is another one of those that, as I had mentioned, those SEC teams that really support their programs. That's what the local downtown business in Omaha really loves to see, because that'll sell out the hotel rooms, that'll book up the restaurants. So they're always excited to see that. But I have to tell you, LSU has been known around here as the legendary, like last year they didn't make it, and that was my first CWS. All I heard last year was, just wait until LSU makes it, then you'll really see it. They made it sound like a Tiger effect, guys.
It very much is. From Northwest Arkansas, from Fayetteville, from the campus proper, I would say the drive to Omaha is very doable.
Oh yeah, it's only about 6 hours, 15 minutes. Creighton for the regional out here in Omaha, they were in Arkansas's regional to start off the tournament, and they bust down. And that was 6 hours and 15 minutes. I remember initially you think, from Nebraska to Arkansas, you kind of recoil at the idea of driving, but then you throw it into Google Maps and you're like, oh, that's a Midwest day trip.
Yeah, it sure is. The lack of SEC teams, I have said for the number one baseball conference in the country, it is a big miss just having 2.
It is, but like I said, last year they had half of all of the teams in there. I mean, should that be the expectation every year? They have 2 this year. I think there's a little bit of randomness to it still. We talked about it with Creighton, just introduced their new head coach, Mark Kingston. I asked him what he thought about that. And, he said, I think we're all just kind of looking for trends right now. And we saw one trend last year. We saw another one this year. We'll see what the next, few years, which way it kind of tilts. But yeah, it's a down year for the SEC, but I'd argue last year was much more of an upswing.
We've gotten this far into the segment, we haven't even mentioned Rocco's. It's their time of the year where they become the most popular restaurant in the entire country. How many times have you been to Rocco's now that you're up in Omaha? How many times will you be to Rocco's over the next 2 weeks? And, just give us a background, if people haven't heard, I know we talked about it with you last year, of kind of this Rocco's phenomenon.
Yeah. So Rocco's, in case anybody is unaware, that's where you will get Jell-O shots, and they keep a counter for each fan base that gets a Jell-O shot. A portion of that, I believe, goes to charity. So it's for a good cause, but there's a big whiteboard there where they keep a counter for each day of how many fans from certain fan bases bought a Jell-O shot, and at the end of it, the best fan base is the one that has the most Jell-O shots. So I went last year. We have the benefit as the NBC affiliate out there. We have the U.S. Open the first weekend of CWS, so it's a lighter weekend for us. It allows me to actually go out to a game and enjoy. So last year, it felt like, kissing the Blarney Stone or something that you had to go and do once. So my wife and I went and each got a Jell-O shot from there. I think she got one for Tennessee. I just picked Florida because that was my dad's alma mater. I didn't really have a dog in that race. But this year we have some in-laws, we have some friends. Actually, we have some friends from Memphis that went to Murray State that are coming in for the weekend. The moment they clinched, they texted us. He said, come on out. So we're going to be hanging out with them over the weekend as well, and we'll have to take them out there. But let me tell you, if Ja Morant comes to Omaha, he better be, writing out a big check to get some of those Jello shots up there, because that's what a lot of the celebrities will do here to really juice those numbers on the Jello shots. Is they'll put in donations of however many thousands of dollars to get their fan base looking good. And when you have LSU and Arkansas looming there's some heavy competition. So job better help out for Murray State.
All right, Clayton, I'm going to go John King on election night at the big board, and I'm going to already call the Jello shot contest LSU in a landslide.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Ole Miss still holds the record.
I thought LSU topped them 2 years ago and then some.
I got to brush up on my research. I think Ole Miss. I know Ole Miss and LSU. They have the all-time record up in there. That might give me a reason to stop in there. Thank you very much for that.
That's a great website we could do. Like baseball ref and pro football ref,
Rocco's ref,
Rocco's ref in Omaha. We should start that site, Clayton, and make us a bunch of cash. Yeah.
Hey guys, cut me in.
Yeah. No, we absolutely
before we get away, tell us what Matt Rule and the Cornhuskers will do this fall.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think you have to wait and see, obviously, what the jump is for Dylan Raiola. I think they've added some pieces. They lost, obviously, a lot on the defensive line in particular, so that concerns me. Looking forward to fall camp and seeing what they have on the line. That's going to really be key. They added some specialty pieces. I'm kind of in that 7 to 8 win range right now as a safety net, but if they really start to impress, maybe you tick up to that 8 or 9. But that's probably the range at this point. With as you look towards Nebraska, I'm in CWS mode right now, but that's my gut reaction at the moment.
I'm going to say with those bowl tie-ins, you will cover at bowl time a Nebraska against an Ole Miss or Arkansas or somebody like that in one of those Florida bowl games.
If they get up to the Music City Bowl, I'd love it. Then give me a chance to swing over to Memphis.
Exactly right. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Well, Clayton, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the College World Series, and we'll do it again soon.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Clayton.
See ya. Bye.
And we miss Clayton.
Oh, we sure do.
One of the all-time great guys and doing so well out there and plenty to cover.
Yeah, a lot to cover, and obviously College World Series is the center right now. But, hey, you got Nebraska football. You've got it is really
Creighton hoops.
Yeah, Creighton hoops. And hey,
Omaha hoops.
Exactly right. And he just got done, I guess, covering Jack Caglione because he was up there in Omaha for a couple of weeks with the AAA team. So a lot to cover up there in Omaha. Can I just break dreams? I love Rocco's. I love following along Rocco's, just like the next guy, last guy, whoever else is following Rocco's. The team that wins the College World Series, pretty good chance they're going to win the Rocco's, the Jello shot.
By virtue of the length of the stay.
Exactly.
And the exuberance in the party.
Exactly. Every year, maybe there's a couple times
LSU could be that outlier, though.
They could. But again, let's say LSU gets knocked out, this weekend, and they're done. They're not going to win because someone else is going to go out there and win. It's usually the teams that are there the longest are going to win. So, it's fun to follow, I guess, but you usually know who's going to win.
But LSU and the drown your sorrows effect, don't discount them.
That's also true. But I think there's a lot of LSU fans that want to get out of town if it's an early exit for them. But we got to get to another break, and when we return, we've got to talk more about Game 3 tonight of the NBA Finals. We'll do that next.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Pools, and more pools. Yes, it is pool time at Family Leisure. Family Leisure is already booking pool installs, so you need to buy now and get on that list. 24-foot pools start at $19.99 install. Liners are starting at $2.99. You're going to need some pool accessories, so they're all up to 20% off. Not quite ready for a pool? That's fine. Get a 5 or 6 person hot tub starting at under $7,000. You can also go for a swim spa or perhaps a cold plunge tub. Those are now $2,000 off. Get patio furniture up to 50% off on select sets. Buy your pool now. Get on that install list. Mention this commercial, and your install is free. It's underlined in the in bold print, so you know it's big. It's pool time at Family Leisure. my ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coos.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here is my Discover card. They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs? They do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times. With the times? You're playing the lute. Yeah, that sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
It's time for fun, family, and fabulous prizes at the 67th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival, Sunday through Saturday, June 15th through 21st. Golfers can win cash and prizes every night, along with the chance to win $25,000 toward a City Auto vehicle purchase select nights. Then a chance to win $1 million the final night. Plus, there are cornhole tournaments every night with cash and prizes. Friday and Saturday nights, there are kids' carnival ride and 2 to 4 Saturday children's golf. So golfers, grab your clubs. Cornholers, practice your aim. Families, bring the kids. Memphis, there's something for everyone. You're invited to the biggest party of the year at St. Louis Church, 203 South White Station Road. The 67th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival, Sunday through Saturday, June 15th through the 21st. Fun, family, and fabulous prizes all week as you help raise funds supporting youth programs at St. Louis Church.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to the retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake. Also stores in Cleveland, Mississippi and Little Rock. They specialize in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Getting engaged is one of life's most spectacular occasions. And when you find your ring at Sissy's Log Cabin, the promise of a lifetime begins with our promise to always provide unmatched quality, superior service, and brilliant natural diamonds. Find your dream engagement ring, wedding bands, and more when you shop Sissy'sLogCabin.com or stop by any of our 7 locations. Begin the rest of your life brilliant. Only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Star Sports Movie and Brian Davis.
We've talked a lot about it, but NBA Finals Game 3 later tonight in Indiana, all tied up 1-1. One of these teams looks to get the edge, but we've said it a couple times already today. Indiana's got to be feeling good going back home, just having this thing tied. It's been really tough for anybody to get an advantage over OKC the entire playoffs. But right now, Indiana has gotten one, getting one on the road. Now we just have to see what they can do at home.
First finals in 25 years in Indianapolis. We've talked about it once upon a time. Probably the capital of basketball.
Yes.
Really kind of may still be, with as often as it hosts a Final Four with the NCAA there, and with the prominence of that being the legendary basketball town. It's back there tonight. The bounce-back capability that Oklahoma City that they have, and that number they have after losing, 18-2 after losses this year, that's why not only tonight for the must-win aspect for Indiana, I think Game 4 is.
Yeah.
You got to show Oklahoma City they can't bounce back.
That's right. Yeah, no, you lose both these games at home, well, then you're right back to where we were going into the series, where everyone's going, okay, it's a 5-game series, it's going to be quick, it's going to be easy. You lose any sort of momentum that you had. You lost a little bit of it the way that Game 2 played out. I don't think many people were surprised that you lost Game 2. Nobody thought you were going to go 2-0 going back to Indiana. But the way that game played out, the way that it just was a domination from start to finish by the Thunder. And so, yeah, you got to take one of these games at home to stay in this.
I think you got to have both.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is better. Look, I think the series is already over. I don't think there's any way Indiana wins this series. They're in a much better spot if they go 2-0 at home.
One was shocking, and especially as bad as they played. Now, 9-0 in Indiana after They haven't lost back-to-back games in 3 months, going 9-0 after losses.
All right. I guess we'll see. Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. One of those games. I love a something's got to give game. But I think we talked about it a lot to start the show. I mean, there are key things that have to happen for Indiana to win this. Go all the way back to game one and just how some of those mistakes really helped Indiana. We talked about those dead ball turnovers where, everybody can stop and you can get back on defense and get set up and really get ready, and you don't have much of that transition. Turnovers are terrible, but you'd much rather them have. And so some of the things that happened in game one to where it was just almost a perfect mixture for the Pacers to end up winning that game. I just don't know if you're going to get those opportunities again. And so, we'll see what happens tonight. Again, Indiana an underdog tonight at home. And I hope they can take one at home, but I will not be surprised at all if OKC goes on the road and wins both of them.
Back to my top story, all-important Game 3, the odd number of games. When the finals are tied 1-1, Game 3 winner eventually wins the title 80.5% of the time.
Holy cow.
There's very few things in life that's 80%.
Very few. Very few.
I just tell you.
Very few. No, that is...
maneuvering Mount Moriah and Ridgeway.
That's
a lot of days don't feel 80%.
That's incredible. I was not aware of that. But I should say that I talked about it earlier. Some of those road woes for OKC, Game 3 against the Grizzlies was when they were down 29 points at one point, ended up coming back. Game 3 on the road against the Nuggets, a 113-104 loss. And Game 3 against the Timberwolves, a 143-101 loss. So something about Game 3, something about that first game on the road for OKC. They come out a little flat. They don't play their best. It feels like it takes them a little bit of time to get acclimated to the new arena.
Get a little sensation going.
So, I mean, maybe Indiana can do something tonight. And obviously we've seen if it's a close game going down the stretch, throw everything out because who knows what happens because this team has been so good in those clutch situations. Tyrese Halliburton has been so good in those opportunities that, if we're in the fourth quarter and this is a single-digit game, that's when everyone's going to be tuned in and, all right, what's going to happen over these next couple minutes?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Again, 7:30 on ABC. We will get that action started for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Well, we're going to get to a break here in a second, but before we do that, let me remind you to head down to Frontier Western Store, family-owned and operated since 1967. Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for some of the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to the shirts, shorts, jeans, whatever you're looking for. If you're in the market for jeans, it's the place to be. They've got you covered with plenty of brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you'll be getting the best deals. While you're there, check out the world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, they've got you covered for the entire family. Ariat, Dan Post, Durango, just to name a few. Head down there, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and check out the entire selection. Well, we got to get to a break. When we come back, John going on the U.S. Open.
Basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant objective feedback with hands-on one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 for you, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis now in Cordova and Connerville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. so it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Corky's barbecue. Cooking it up. Down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like a good old day.
Hey, y'all, Jimmy Stone over here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Meridian's entrusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years. Because we make it easy to eat and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet, starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sABBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Encore flavor. Corky's barbecue.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 11 to join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church downtown Memphis.
This traffic brought to you by Raleigh Tire Auto Service, your local family-owned business for over 60 years.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's busy right now through the Midtown area in the normal spots. For this time of day, it's gotten heavier on 240 east from Millbridge, out to 385 as you get on to Billmores Parkway. So far, so good as you head on out into Collierville. Hey, Dandelions, Crabgrass, Lawn Solutions here in Memphis says, give them a call. They are the best, and they're affordable. Lawn Solutions, 867-5626. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, we are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Sportstime on Sports 56 and 95 FM. Once again, Brett Roserly and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. And joining us now to talk some golf and make our weekly picks, John Goen from Timber Trust. He joins us now. John, thanks so much for joining us. How are things this week down at Timber Trust? I got to pull him up. That'd be good. Here, there you are, John. How's it going?
Yeah, there we go.
There you
Hello.
go. Hello.
Hey, it's a little button.
Yeah, that was on me.
Everything's good. Doing what any good farmer would do at the end of the day, and that is now that we finally had some dry weather, just trying to get caught up on stuff. So I'm actually sitting out in between hole 4 and hole 8 in the rough, kind of mowing rough the rest of the afternoon here. So
you got U.S. Open rough?
Well, so I was joking. Our rough unit unfortunately has kind of been down up until last week. It was down for about 4 weeks, waiting on some parts. It's crazy how parts are still a massive challenge. But I would say before we got to start knocking things down last week, the running joke that I sent out to my guys is after an emergency meeting with the USGA, it has been determined that we do not need to have U.S. Open rough for our event this coming weekend for the Timber Trust Open. So we are scrambling quickly to get out and knock the rough down. So it was a bit of a joke. But yeah, it's like anything else we continue to kind of talk about. I mean, we've had super wet spring. As Brett kind of mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I mean, really, haven't had any type of growing weather whatsoever, and it's just kind of been an absolute struggle. Unfortunately, from our perspective too, with equipment and things along those lines, it's it's just the battle that we have right now.
It's hard to get ahead.
As I mentioned, Brett, last week I mentioned to the guys I was actually on our fairway mower about a week and a half ago, mowing 10 fairway, trying to get caught up, and the thing caught on fire.
Yeah,
and so it burned to the ground. And
I saw the pics.
It's, like I said, our luck right now with equipment is not the best. I would not go buy a lottery ticket if I were me right now.
Not at all.
I saw the head of the USGA said that in western Pennsylvania, it was the wettest, coolest May in history, and that's why they have turbo rough.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're fighting extremely hard to get back down to an inch and a half. This will be, the second mowing of this whole thing. And, look, I get that this golf course in particular, our golf course is particularly bad, because it's flat in a lot of areas. Plus we're runoff for the neighborhood. But, when you don't have anything whatsoever, we didn't have wind, we didn't have warm temperatures, there was nothing to help from an evaporation perspective, and there's just not a lot you can do from that vantage point. So, as we've dried out, heck, we got an inch and a half of rain this past Saturday when that cell kind of moved through, and because we've been able to get out and mow fairways and things along those lines, we were off the path on Sunday after an inch and a half of rain. So it just goes to show you that if we can kind of get on top of everything and get our heights right and get mowed out correctly and stuff like that, that at the end of the day, we can kind of handle some of this stuff. But, when it's just constant day after day, we were 10 plus inches in the month of May. And then, we're already kind of off to a bit of an auspicious start, and we're still in the pattern of pretty much every weekend for at least the last 3 or 4 months, except with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 weekends. It's rained pretty much every weekend. So, just continue to have, really, really hard challenges from multiple fronts. And clearly if they're having the same issues up at Oakmont, we're not the only ones here in North Mississippi that are, experiencing these challenges. And we're not hosting a major, for crying out loud.
You're hosting a good event this weekend. Are you full for your event this weekend?
I think we still have a couple of teams left open. So if you're looking to play this weekend, so it's a 4-person scramble. You pick a tour player. We do food. You get a couple of drink tickets. We got some tee gifts and everything for you this weekend. You can call us at 662-895-3530 to be able to sign up. But should be a lot of fun. Hopefully the rain kind of will hold off from that perspective. But, we got bag protectors on the golf carts, and, of course, we got GPS. And barring anything crazy, we still think we should be able to get it in this weekend and have a good time.
And Thursday scramble tomorrow, right?
Yep, Thursday kicks off the weekend tomorrow, and so we'll get cranked up tomorrow night. We keep getting into these habits of just one skin. One of these days, we're going to get a carryover skin again. It's been, I think, well over a year and a half.
We know who will win it when there's a carryover. You'll win it.
I don't know, man. A couple weeks ago, me and my partner finished with 7 straight birdies and didn't win a skin, but won the partner portion of it being low round.
7 straight birdies. Right. I really feel sorry for him, don't you?
It was, fellas, it was tough. We should have done better. Clearly we missed 2 opportunities. Clearly. And in all actuality, we probably missed 4. We should have eagled 1 and we should have eagled 7. So, you can always get better.
Well said.
John, this week in Golf Channel did a great job of it today. And I think we appreciated it during the middle of it. But they were highlighting the 25th anniversary of Tiger's year in the year 2000, including that wire-to-wire just lapped the field at the U.S. Open. In my sporting life, Tiger 2000, it may be up there at the top. It may be better than Wooden's UCLA teams, Bryant's Alabama teams, Saban's Alabama teams, any dynasty in any other sport, Tiger in 2000 was man walking on the moon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it could have very well, or it could very well be that kind of definitely ranks up there amongst the greatest. Just because, let's face it, at the end of the day, you don't have a team to help you out there. That is an individual performance of individual performances, and you have to be at the absolute height and pinnacle of your performance in your career in order to be able to pull something like that off on an individual level. So you definitely can't argue that as it bled into basically the Tiger Slam as he wins the Masters in the following year. Definitely pretty impressive. Not to this level, but I mean, Jordan Spieth had pretty close to a similar, or had a really good hot streak run there in 2015 before the wheels kind of came off. I think he won Augusta and the U.S. Open, or Augusta and the British Open that year, something along those lines. I mean, two majors, by that point in 2015 was pretty impressive, from that vantage point. And, now Scotty potentially has that chance. Rory, if he can get over, being agitated at the media for either leaks about his driver being pulled from him, or, unfortunately that's becoming a bit of a trend for him where, at the end of the day, if he wants to, hold his breath and stomp his feet just because he didn't play well and not talk to anybody, he has the ability to be able to do that. So,
yeah, I think it's a bad look. Do you think Scotty is a Tiger run? I know we'll know when it's all over with, but kind of forecasting, do you think this is Tiger run or just a Jordan Spieth good run?
Well, I mean, if you look back at the last couple of years, up until Rory's win at the Masters, Scotty hadn't won anything, and now he's won 3 events, something like that. So he's kind of gotten back on this heater here a little bit. I think it has the opportunity to be Tiger-like, but you just have to look. He is as dominant, I think, right now on the tour as Tiger was during his stretches, and I think the competition is as good. Now, granted, without DeChambeau on a weekly basis, without what potentially Dustin Johnson or Brooks Koepka could have brought to the table if they'd all stayed on the tour, things along those lines. Would he have a bit more? I mean, there's an argument to be had there where, unless Rory or somebody else is in the field, I mean, the strength of field that Scotty's trying to beat could potentially not be, up there. But I mean, from a major perspective and everything else, I mean, he's definitely been on a heater. Realistically, just outside of the PGA Championship, or not the PGA Championship, but the Masters this year. I mean, where he just didn't quite have all of it.
Yeah, he wasn't good, but he was
that's probably
still
his
in
worst
the mix.
major performance in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to John Goen, he joins us every week to talk golf. We'll get to our picks a little bit later. Everyone's talking about this course. I've heard so many numbers of this type of player would shoot this type of player would shoot this. John Goen, if he was out there this weekend just for one round, what would he shoot?
Based off of how long that golf course is playing and everything else and the rough, John Goen might shoot 115.
Okay, well, if you will shoot 115, I think that means most. I said yesterday I would sign for 150 in a second. If you would shoot 115, there's no way I break 200.
No.
I mean, look. I mean, we've talked about playing up and being comfortable with that, and the guys I play with on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We play the blue tees here, which is about 6,200 yards, and it's nice and comfortable, and, it's enjoyable. To stretch me back out to 7,200, 7,300 yards is not enjoyable.
No, and that's what John Rahm said to him. He said, "Who plays here every day and has fun with this?"
Yeah, no, nobody.
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 Not at all.
You know.
I mean, outside the cachet of I'm a member at Oakmont, well, great. But, I mean, you want to go out there and do – it's not set up like this. It won't be like this a year from now in June on Father's Day weekend. But it won't miss – I mean, it won't be easy. It's not, putt-putt.
Right. I mean, they're definitely I've seen Bryson's videos and stuff like that from what the rough looks like. I mean, you hate to say it right now, but, I mean, if you take – historical data between Ryder Cups and whatever else, you've got to think a European or foreign player has a very strong possibility of winning this week just because, historically, the Europeans will grow the rough up, make it very penal for us during a Ryder Cup. Our guys spray it all over the place, and they tend to hit more fairways and make more putts during a Ryder Cup. So, I think the potential to have, a European player wind up winning this thing is definitely there. I recall, though, because this is Oakmont was Dustin Johnson's U.S. Open.
It was, yeah.
And DJ, now granted, golf course played probably differently to my recollection. I don't remember there being this much talk about rough and
I don't
cold
either.
and whatever else.
I know the trees were gone, but I don't remember this much rough.
Right, exactly. So, I think the rough is definitely going to be the determining factor this week. And guys who tend to spray it all over the place, most of the Americans will definitely, have their struggles. So I could see, over par, obviously winning this golf tournament. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the weather forecast. Are they in a similar situation? Is there rain chances at all to soften or continue to keep the golf course soft?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good. So you round even level par. So you would sign for 3 or 4 under right now?
Oh, I would think absolutely.
Sunday at 6, yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know how much the golf course has dried out. Clearly, it's softer than they're wanting it to be, and I don't know how much that's going to change between now and Sunday. So between the rough and how firm they can get the greens, that's going to be the biggest thing that they can really kind of, monkey around with as far as firmness of greens and how they're going to hold or not hold, especially out of the deeper rough and even out of the fairways. So that can be Oakmont's defense. You guys probably have it. I don't remember what Dustin Johnson shot that year at the U.S. Open.
I
think he was under par.
He was
quite a bit. It wasn't double digits, but he was maybe like 6, 7, 8, something like that. To my faint recollection, I could be way off there, but yeah, so I could definitely, if 3 or 4 under par, I would take that and run to the house and go ahead and hoist the trophy there at the end of the day.
And famously in '94 at Oakmont, but sadly, Lauren Roberts lost in the 18-hole playoff to Ernie Els. He was really close to winning his U.S. Open there.
Yeah.
Was it Oakmont? I thought it was Congressional, but I'm way off there then. My terrible memory, But yeah, no, he got into that, with the ruling and things along those lines. Yeah. So definitely a tough situation for Lauren there.
And it was the first of, really illustrious career for Ernie Els.
Yes. Yep. Definitely. Absolutely.
All right, pick time.
4 under for Dustin Johnson, by the way.
Just 4 under. I thought it was more than that. I did.
Yeah, I felt like it was more than that. But
they would sure sign for 4.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
Right now, not play it down. I have the first pick, and shockingly, I'm going to take a guy from Texas named Scotty Scheffler.
No.
That's a good pick, Brett.
Thank you, Landon. I appreciate that sport too, Landon, because I don't trust Bryant's no way, and John has gone totally silent.
He's just shocked by how good of a pick it was.
I don't think we've given him an opportunity to talk.
I just think it's like the rest of us every single week. It's it goes without saying.
You get beaten down by picking Scotty.
Just how how great of a pick it is, Brett.
Thank you, John. Thank you. I knew you'd come around.
Put the quarter in the machine, and Scotty
I mean,
Scheffler
heck,
comes out.
2 weeks ago, I go 1-2 with Scotty and Ben Griffin. So, I mean, you just got to, when the dice are hot, you just got to keep rolling them.
Throw them right down the middle. All right, so I assume you're going to take Ben Griffin here, right? Your pick.
No.
He said European. It sounds like he's going to take Rory. I mean, I don't.
No. No way. Pretty straight driver. The golf ball hadn't had the best of years. A little injury early on, but won 2 majors last year. I'll take Xander Schauffele.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go with I'll take the first live guy. I'll take Bryson DeChambeau.
Why not?
I thought John was going to take Bryson DeChambeau.
I did too.
I was worried he was.
It is to Landon. Remember, the shock pick, if they win, that's quad. That's big money. But first pick wins double. Here you go, Landon.
You know what? I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to take Sepp Straka.
Okay, good pick.
Georgia Bulldogs, Sepp Straka. I'm kind of wow too, John. I'm kind of wow.
Is your gut like nauseous? Is that what it is?
No, I had a pretty good lunch today. Okay. I feel pretty good.
I mean, do you need to excuse yourself? Or am I good?
No, I'm good. I'm
Sepp Straka?
Yeah.
Okay. Great pick.
All right, background for me, and he's way above 21. This has to be 21 or up OWGR. But the reason why he is because of Liv. But I take John Rahm.
John Rahm, yeah.
John going after John Rahm's going.
Really, that's a really good pick there, Brett.
Thank
really
you, John.
Good.
I appreciate the support. I can feel the sincerity.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
I don't know if I feel it.
You're on fire, Brett.
Yep.
I have Scotty Scheffler and John Rahm.
You're on fire.
I will take Terrell Hatton.
Okay.
He runs hot. I wonder how
Really,
one bad
John?
hole might treat him.
Wow. All
Hatton,
right.
John, really?
John, that was a wow pick. Bryant, your shock pick.
Well, I'm in a pickle now.
Boy, the knives are out too, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, major weekend. I mean, what do you expect? I'm gonna go with a guy that finished top 10 last year. Is playing some good golf right now. I will go with Mr. Sam Burns.
I don't even want to hear his name after how he played in the playoff last week. That would have won me
Right?
double.
Yeah.
Landon.
Let's see. I think
Oh, he's there for you, Landon. He is absolutely sitting there teed up for you.
he sure is. Hey.
Your guy.
Who is your guy again?
Your guy.
Your guy.
My guy is Minwoo Lee.
That's
He
true.
got the first pitch last night in Pittsburgh.
He did. I guess.
I can't believe you missed that. That's the second time you brought that up
I
today.
guess that's got to be some kind of good luck, doesn't it?
Take him. Please take him.
I don't think I'm gonna take him.
It'd be the perfect topper to Sepp Straka.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really is.
Go with foreign guys, huh? Well,
Sepp's kind of American, but kind of not.
No, I was gonna go with Sam Burns, but
That's
He's
what I
gone.
took.
He's gone.
you know
Good
what?
for you.
Stick with the foreign theme. Give me Nick Taylor.
Okay, Nick Taylor, the Canadian.
All right.
Close last
Go
week.
Canada.
You could have had Aaron Rye. That's who I was having to decide between. Sam
Landon,
Burns
was
and
that
Aaron
run
Rye.
of being in first? Was it fun?
Yeah. It's been a great few weeks.
Okay.
But sometimes you just got to spice things up, and so I added a little bit of flavor.
There you go.
Okay.
You gotta do that.
I love how Brett's talking smack, and none of us really know what the heck's going to happen here. And he can still, more than likely, he's still going to be leading after this week.
Yeah.
You know,
probably.
there's a really good chance that he's still leading after this week.
Not when I win $20 million with John Rahm.
John Rahm winning and Scotty.
You want to talk
second.
about somebody who runs hot? John Rahm runs hot.
For sure.
It's very true.
I mean,
He might be as hot as Terrell Hatton runs.
Might break a club
I
in
mean,
that
you
rough.
want to talk about a guy who can go Chernobyl. John Rahm can go from
He can.
in contention at a major
Yeah.
to the wheels on the
Meltdown.
bus come falling off.
He really can. He can go 3 Mile Island. He sure can.
Right.
I'm also noticing we're back to what we did last year, where nobody wants to touch Rory. Nobody wants to get
I was
anywhere
about to
close.
say
How'd that
we
happen?
left him on the table.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, the
it's-
whole driver issue, I think it
Yeah.
affected him as much mentally as the using the club.
Watch this
because
week
he's
be the
so
week he figures
neurotic.
it out.
Yeah, no, he really is. And I'm just noticing that trend. Nobody really wants to touch him. So we'll see what happens this
Good
weekend.
stuff.
John, before we let you go, tell us how people can book a tee time down at Timber Trust.
Absolutely. So, we'll flip the coin per about normal for the weekend. We had a great Sunday, had a terrible Saturday, but so it looks like that there might still be chances to come play golf. You can either call us at 662-895-3530 to book your tee time through the golf shop, or you can book online at timbertrustgolf.com. And, of course, if you're ever looking to see kind of what's happening here at the golf course, you can follow us on both Facebook and Instagram at Timber Trust Golf Course. We've been posting for events and obviously things that we're doing on the golf course, is trying to get caught up with everything and things along those lines. So should be a fun weekend. It is Father's Day. Happy early Father's Day to everybody. And we'll look forward to hopefully seeing some really good golf and an exciting tournament this weekend.
Absolutely.
And I will be texting you all weekend.
Yes, it's going to be.
And I'll see our dear friend Pat Donahue down here on Saturday, and we'll wear you out with some pictures and other fun things.
I'll be ready. Have a great one, John.
Have a good weekend,
All right, guys,
John.
take
Happy
care.
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you, John.
Appreciate it, fellas.
You got it.
Thanks, John.
Y'all take care.
Talk to you next week. John Goen joins us from Timber Trust every single weekend. I'm sorry, Landon. I like to keep track of who everyone picked. I was so taken back of just the chaos during that segment in our picks. Who was your last pick?
Nick Taylor.
Nick Taylor.
Nick
Okay,
Taylor,
yes,
yeah.
that's correct. That's correct. I was going to write it down, and then I got lost in the
Which
chaos.
doesn't touch Tyrrell Hatton.
What in the
Tyrrell Hatton, one of the worst picks we've ever had in golf picks.
And he was giving me for Sepp Straka. Does he not realize how good he's been doing the past couple
and
of tournaments?
we do this to John after we get him off.
Now
there. That's cheap.
Now that he's not on the phone line anymore. Tyrrell Hatton. Did anybody have him
did
on your
anybody
list?
hear me? I was giving him some stuff.
You
I
were.
said, Hatton,
You were.
really?
Good for you.
Come on,
I'm
John.
telling
Good
y'all.
for you.
I was being a
On
little
Monday,
sarcastic.
on Sunday night when I send the update, first place will be Brett.
Call your shot now.
$20 million with Rom and about 3 doubled, so 6 with Scheffler. That's 26 plus the five I have now.
I'm gonna do what you did to me. I believe it was the last major when I had my shock in the lead or close to the
You can
lead.
jinx
And
me
my
Sunday
first
night.
in the lead.
Text
I'm
him
gonna
on the
text
final
you and be like,
round.
what a weekend, Brett. I mean,
You're just watching the world burn.
Exactly, and I'll jinx it for you. It's what happens, I guess.
Young Michael Lasasso, the NCAA champion from Ole Miss, tees off of number 10 tomorrow morning at 7:35 Central Time.
Enjoy it.
Good luck with the nerves.
Enjoy it. I saw earlier they were showing Bryson DeChambeau. He's teeing off at like 6:30 in the morning.
6:29.
Oh man,
that's not coincidental.
No, not at all.
That's
Not at all.
live.
Oh yeah. But that is brutal for
I mean,
anybody.
it's always early, late.
Yeah.
But for a former champion at 6:29, now come on now.
No, you try to find somewhere where it's
Not former, defending champion.
Exactly. You try to find something where it's closer to
2-time champion.
around noon to where both days is kind of around the same time.
At the latest,
people can watch it.
10:30.
Sure, yeah. That's
6:29 for the reigning champion.
crazy. That is insane, but it will be fun to watch tomorrow. and
Golf's
we'll
got to
talk a
get
ton
this
about it.
fixed.
They
We got
absolutely do.
to get some sanity
They
back.
got to. We got to get to another break, and when we come back, we got to talk some Major League Baseball. A lot of day action today, a lot of action last night. We'll talk about all of it next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
One thing Bell Tavern can say with confidence is that you won't find a better selection of bourbon, whiskey, and scotch anywhere else in Memphis. Maybe anywhere. With signature cocktails like the 3 Whiskey Old Fashioned, the Barrel Aged Manhattan, and the Spicy Margarita, paired with the whiskey flights like the Tennessee Bourbon Flight and the Maker's Mark Flight. There are more amazing drink options at Bell Tavern than you could possibly work your way through in one visit. In fact, it would take many, many visits to Bell Tavern to even make a dent in the extensive selection. Grab an Uber and head to Bell Tavern.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, and don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. I have been told that my ads are all business and I should share some of my personality. Okay, I love tongue twisters, like the one about the terrific tasting toast by Taste Tester Toaster, or Big Black Bugs, Bleed Blue Blood, and of course Sally and her seashells. Or of course the ever-present I'm a mother pheasant plucker, I plug mother pheasants. Okay, enough of that. If you want an honest, fair, reasonable roofing, siding, or gutter estimate, call Five-Ash Roofing at 367-0050. That's exactly what you'll get. No empty promises, no high-pressure sales tactics, and no fast-talking salesman trying to convince you that today and only today is the best day for you to get a new roof. For the record, the best day to get a new roof is when you're ready for one. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback and hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000-square-foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-sized courts, 3 high school-sized courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member in both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis now in Cordova and Conner will hold them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. I'm looking at a truck crash out here. It's going to be out here for a while, so listen up. 40 westbound at White Station. It's already backing up over here on this side of town because of this 18-wheeler that has completely flipped. And again, it's going to be here for a while. 40 westbound at White Station as it gets heavy now on 240 east from Mill Branch out to 385 Bill Morris Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, your diamond engagement ring headquarters. Go by and see them and shop local at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. We got to talk some baseball, a lot of day ball this afternoon being a Wednesday. A lot of action last night, but both days, both losses for the St. Louis Cardinals, and things are not going great right now for them.
No, it's not. The fun little May's come and gone.
Yeah.
May was fun.
May was really fun. I enjoyed it.
Kind of overachieved.
Of course they did. It was fun, though. I mean, that's what you want as a fan. We talked about it a lot in May of, hey, you know, they've still got us hooked. They've still got us hooked. And,
I'm getting unhooked.
Well, it's how quick that can happen. It can happen really fast.
Just gave away the 2 games Monday and Tuesday and today. Liberatore, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. He was okay. He won.
Staked to an early lead, but couldn't hold up.
Yeah, I mean, the way that, you know, at least the last, not today, but last night and the game before were really not much early, and then, you know, kind of strike at the end. You know, you give up 3 runs in the first inning last night. You're able to tie it back up, kind of get back in there. All right, 0-0. Let's see what happens the rest of the game. And then you really just don't do anything. And then the last inning, you come up there and score 3 runs, and it was just too little, too late. And that's exactly what we talked about yesterday with the night before, where you get everything back in the 9th inning.
And Helsley blows
You go
up.
out there, then Helsley buzzes. The guy that's supposed to be, shut down every single time he's out there is not very shut down. And, you go out there, you lose back-to-back games, and now make it a 3rd one today.
I don't want to be too tough, any tougher than I have been on Ollie Marmol. I don't know that you can be that mad at him presented with this roster.
Yeah, no, it's not a great roster at all.
I mean, this isn't being handed Yachty and Pujols and Ozzie Smith.
I mean, we've talked about it a lot.
They didn't play together, but
yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and we'll talk to Rob Fisher here in a little bit. Last week when we had Rob on, I mean, he was kind of saying, who on this team's really.
Who do you game plan around? What's the strategy pregame? We can't have this guy come to bat with a guy on second. Nobody at all. I mean, it's Rob's right. I got Victor Scott hot. Hit last night, 2 today.
Sure did. But I mean, it's kind of a ragtag group of guys right now.
It really is.
And I mean, it's fun. Like, I like a lot of these names. I like a lot of these guys.
I don't think they're coming in last.
No.
Most preseason predictions had.
It's really bad.
But is that a win for a storied franchise for the Cardinals? We're not going to come in last
in a really bad division. Like, this isn't.
That's right.
This isn't the cream of the
crop.
crop.
I think the Cubs are good though.
I think they're fine. I don't think they're gonna make a ton of noise, but they're okay.
Playing 600 baseball.
It's June. Talk to me in September.
That's true.
But hey, I mean, right now they're playing real well, but pretty much everybody else in that division is kind of suspect right now.
Now
or just
Hunter
straight
Green
up bad.
out for Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, that's huge. I mean, their pitching is massive.
I did it to him.
Yeah, but today, I mean, they get the win.
I got Spencer Strider a few years ago with Cy Young preseason prediction. Right. I don't think he made it to the 10th of April.
No.
This year I did it to Hunter Green.
Jeez, Brad,
preseason Cy.
Maybe we got to stop doing Cy Young predictions. Yeah. I don't know. That is not good.
Landon's Mets are rolling.
They had a wild one last night.
4 straight, 8 out of 10.
Win. I thought
first place.
I thought they were going to lose that game.
I mean, it didn't start out well, but we finally got things figured out. Jeff McNeil's got stuff figured out.
It's easy picking a team, isn't it?
I was telling. I can't remember who I was telling the other day, but me being a Titans and a Hawaii fan, winning is not in our repertoire.
Yeah, you're not familiar.
You're deserving.
So the fact that this team is actually a powerhouse and is winning, it feels good to have a team that wins.
Yeah, I guess.
Who wins more games this fall? How hard one? Hawaii or the Titans?
Oh man,
we've got the over on Hawaii.
We do. So I'm gonna go. Can I pick a tie?
Brett loves ties. I don't.
Both get 7 wins this year.
Oh, that's great.
It'd be huge.
Titans sign up for 7 right now, don't they?
Going 7-10, I think that would be successful for the Titans this year.
Successful.
Cam Ward making development, not injured, gaining confidence. Sign up for that in a second.
Did you see? I don't mean to change the subject because I do have things I want to talk about. Major League Baseball. The Athletic put out an anonymous players survey for Major League Baseball. We love our anonymous player surveys, Brett. We'll have to get to that in a second. But speaking of Hawaii, did you see who their new general manager for basketball is?
You bet I did.
Hawaii basketball has a general manager.
They just hired a general manager.
Just hired one.
Unless you saw it, you will never guess.
I've not seen it. Did he play there?
He did not.
I don't know of any Hawaii player.
He did not play there.
He did not.
Star somewhere?
He's a previous NBA champ.
A prominent player, I guess you could say.
Champ for what team?
Well, that
the
really
Clippers.
No, he won with the Spurs.
No.
He won with the Spurs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Malik Rose?
Patty Mills.
Okay.
Patty Mills.
I guess it's halfway to Australia.
I guess so. That's really
he's Australian, isn't he?
He is Australian. Proud Australian. Plays for the national team. But yeah, Patty Mills, the new general manager for Hawaii basketball.
Look out for Bo's basketball next season.
You know what?
I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hawaii ever been in the NCAA tournament?
Nope.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No, but we do good in the Big West.
They were fun to watch. I watched a lot of Hawaii basketball.
Most of us kind of forget about them after the Christmas, not Thanksgiving, but the Christmas tournament that they host.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sharif Center. I think, is that Rainbow
Classic.
Rainbow Classic.
Rainbow Classic.
They're fun last year.
They were fun.
That was the tournament where, when Rick Stansberry was at State, Rodney Sidney and other players on State were fighting on the bench.
Really?
Yeah, with each other.
Holy cow! All right.
Well, to loop it back
what you wanna say.
into baseball, they Hawaii baseball is a force to be reckoned
Yeah,
with. They made a pretty good run in their little tournament.
Sure did. I think made it to the semifinals.
I think
so.
they did. Yeah.
How about that?
First round of the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, and if they had lost, they're out.
Yeah.
It ends. Murray State won like 15-14 over
Holy cow.
Belmont.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Or none of this happens.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like what we were talking about with Little Rock when they were in the regionals. Of there were multiple times where they were down to like the last inning, needed to score a couple runs just to stay alive, and ended up winning. But yeah, Murray State, this story for them, getting all the way to Omaha is really incredible. I mentioned this player survey for Major League Baseball players. So I'm just going to give you a couple. I'm going to Landon, feel free to play along. It's one of my favorite games when we talk about this with the NBA. I'm glad they did it for Major League Baseball as well. All right, let's start with this. Which player do you most like to watch play? 135 people responded to this one. All the players in Major League Baseball.
Mookie Betts.
Okay. Landon, you have a guess in there?
For
Juan
all
Soto.
No, actually, I was going to say Pete Alonso. Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr. was second in the
okay.
voting. He received 14 votes. Who did you say again?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts, he received 7 votes. So he was 5th in the voting. Shohei Ohtani was the runaway winner for that. 29 votes he received of the 135. Bobby Witt was second. Ronald Acuna Jr. was third. A little surprising because of how much time he's missed this year, but still an unbelievable player. What hitter would you least want to pitch against in Game 7 of the World Series?
Shohei.
Pete.
What are you doing?
Come on, man. He's on a roll.
You have the right answer in front of you, and you go with the wrong answer every time. Shohei Ohtani was second in this with 9 votes. Juan Soto was the winner.
Wow.
Your guy, Juan Soto, was the leader.
But Pete is batting better than Juan
Hey,
right
but he's
now.
not Juan Soto,
Yeah, well, you guys are missing out on the polar bear.
Aaron Judge was third in this voting. 2 more I wanted to get to. Which pitcher would you least want to face in Game 7 of a World Series?
Skubal.
Skubal was second in the voting. Chris Sale was the most voted.
Not anymore.
I was a little surprised on Chris Sale getting the most votes today. Like at one time, sure.
Is Skeens on that list?
Skeens is on that list. Skeens received a couple of votes. I think he was
Skeens was
tied
out at the
third.
golf course.
Was he really?
Yesterday or earlier today, yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
Is there a Met on there?
I don't think there was a Met on there. There was not a Met on there.
Did they do like favorite ballparks or anything like that?
I did not see. I just kind of scrolled
Best
through
fans?
I did not see.
Best fans in baseball. Hashtag BFIB.
Well, you know what that's going to be.
They gave a big rousing ovation to Tommy Edman over the weekend.
Well, yes, they
and his
sure
return
did.
to St. Louis. I don't get that.
Yeah. Which organizations have good reputations among players?
Roll through that.
The Dodgers have the best with 82 votes out of 126. Yankees are second. Braves are third with 25. Where are the Mets are 6th on this list?
Okay.
Where are the Cardinals on this list? Cardinals.
Where are the Red Sox?
Red Sox, they are 7th on this list.
They used to be prominent
15.
on lists like
That's
this.
right. Cardinals are about dead even. They're kind of right there middle of the road. Got 1 vote for good reputation among players. Got 3 votes for bad reputation among players.
Homeless A's have to be at the bottom.
As you can imagine, Athletics run away with it. 39 votes right behind
Marlins.
them. Marlins, 25 votes. White Sox, 31. Rockies, 25, alongside with the Marlins.
Yeah.
So,
And
understandable.
It is, and some of that's record.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot
of
of
that's
is,
record.
A lot of that is record.
And he wants to be in Colorado now.
Sure, yeah. But, I mean, obviously, the homeless A's, that makes a ton of sense. One that was, I thought, interesting was kind of the one that I first saw when looking at this. They asked, are you in favor of the idea of robo-umps calling balls and strikes? 63%, 63.4% of the people that voted no. They do not want robo-umps making calls. 17.2%
I'm okay by it.
said yes. 19.4% said unsure.
I saw it work in minor league.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so that was the thing. So this was just a question of no umpire at all. Like, we just
he doesn't even stand back there?
Not even.
That's never happened.
Maybe stand back there, but all of it is coming from
umpire unions, not let those jobs go away.
It increased a little bit on the as kind of a challenge, like what we're seeing in minor league baseball.
And I know a lot of people that are really good Major League Baseball umpires.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Fletcher from Memphis, one of the best. There are a couple that make their off-season homes in Oxford that I know. If you're not the home plate guy now, really, what are you doing out on the base paths?
Yeah,
I mean, a pigeon almost could land on you. You're insignificant.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everything gets checked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, everything.
Safe, out, fair, foul.
We're reviewing everything nowadays. So.
Runners interference.
Yeah, I mean, if you're behind the plate,
you're still ringing things up.
Sure.
But if we go to that, I mean, that will just be histrionics. Them standing there, won't it be?
No, it absolutely will.
I mean, who do you come? You don't come out and argue with him.
I would love to see a manager arguing with a robot on.
Why would you come out and be sore at the guy just? I'm just standing here.
Just here, man. It's in my earpiece or whatever it is. I'm
doing nothing.
So yeah,
I don't matter.
Overwhelmingly, players oppose the idea of robo-umps. A lot of the catchers that they said, the story in there kind of went down, said that the catchers that responded to this, a lot of them were worried about that framing would become obsolete.
Well, it will. Just like the in the neighborhood play has around second base.
Exactly. And but
there was a time in baseball, it wasn't in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the area code.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you just sneezed going by,
that's right.
It was out at
You're
second.
Out. You're out. That's a great point.
And I think it has caused more people being injured around the bag, but we want to get it right. And you can't take the guy into left field anymore.
No, certainly not. But you are absolutely right about that. And it did go up a little bit. More players in favor of just kind of the challenge aspect of it, kind of what we're seeing at AAA right now. But I thought interesting some of these things that the players were voting on. And a busy day today in Major League Baseball. Pretty busy night around Major League Baseball, even though we've got Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games that have yet to start. So, have your pick tonight, whether it is the
I'm
NBA
going to be a lot of
baseball.
Basketball and a lot of live from.
Oh, yeah. No,
Peek in at baseball.
I'll be watching a ton of Game 3 tonight in the NBA. We need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Vargas. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in the 32-ounce jar. It's so good the base will marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef. And she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from the Mediterranean diet to steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meat. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper is more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with the perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair is still going strong since 1948. Rendezvous.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Penstorf Realtors. I'm often called Shell Done because I sell homes and work with buyers and I get the job done. There are 7 keys to successfully selling your home quickly at a great price. First, call me. I do my research and advise you on preparation, presentation, and proper pricing that gets you the activity to get the best price. Follow my advice and it can happen. I did mention 7 keys to a successful sale, didn't I? Well, if you use the first key, calling or emailing me, you really don't need the next 6 keys. Remember that Shell Dunn Rosengarten at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. If you don't need me now, write it down for later or for a friend. That's Shell Dunn at 483-0546 at MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now, and who knows, you may hear your home advertised here. Remember, as bad a golfer as I am, when selling homes, Shell Dunn gets it done.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of area jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Area just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Big Daddy. Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy. You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number today has to do with the NBA Finals. Again, Game 3 later tonight. So we went to the NBA for our big number. The big number today is 15. This season, the Oklahoma City Thunders have 48 wins by at least 15 points in the regular season and playoffs. That is 5 more such wins than any other NBA team has had in a single season. So OKC team shows it pretty much night in, night out, how dominant they can be.
And we were fully on the way to anointing them as super team and talking dynasty in years come until Game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're kind of back there, aren't we?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think game
how many will they
change.
get?
Yeah, I don't think Game 1 really should have changed much, but yeah, I mean, it's they because anytime they can switch that you can flip that switch on and go out there and look like one of the greatest teams ever.
Will we heat of the moment flip back if they're down 2-1 tomorrow?
I certainly hope not, but I'm sure we will as a collective across the country. I'm sure everybody will because that's how we're kind of programmed.
Yeah, attention span can get short. I don't like doing that, but I may if Indiana goes up 2-1.
It's fun to do. I mean, why not?
My big number is 24. There's 24 major winners in this 156-man field at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. I think it's the worst field of all the 4 majors. And I'm sorry, with all the AMs that are in it, all the sectional qualifiers, I know it makes it unique. It makes it fun. Gives a lot of people a chance to say, hey, I played in the U.S. Open. That's great. But it leaves to where about 10 or 15 people can really win the tournament. The U.S. Open has had some out-of-nowhere winners, though. Steve Jones, Michael Campbell, and some others. One that's never won a U.S. Open and is not going to ever win a U.S. Open. It's the only thing he lacks for a career slam is one of those 24 major winners, just not a U.S. Open winner. Loneliest man in golf, arguably, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
Do we remember 2021, May of 2021 at Kiowa?
Yeah.
When that really brought sports back from COVID.
Sure did.
And that crowd at Kiowa ushering him up 18, he had the world right in the grips.
He absolutely did.
And destroyed his reputation.
Yeah. No, I mean, very, very, very quickly.
It really did.
I mean, it was.
He was right about so much, though.
He was. I mean.
And last week I was at an event, and as old people do, we were talking about the good old days. Let me be clear. I think the good old days of the FedEx St. Jude Championship right now.
Yeah.
I think the good old days of college football right now. But there was a time that Phil Mickelson committing to Memphis early, letting them know, count me in, advertise around me, sell tickets around me. He helped us a lot here.
Man.
And now kind of a punching bag.
Yeah.
I feel bad
Sure.
to kick him a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Brett, I've told you, we've had this
And he was
conversation.
right on some things about the tour sitting on a pile of cash and not making those purses what they should be.
Hey, he was. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. You know, growing up, I mean, Phil Mickelson was my favorite golfer. I mean, he was a lefty, like I was a lefty. He was here at Memphis. You know, every single year was a big time golfer. And so yeah, growing up, I loved Phil Mickelson.
Said and did all the right things when he come to town.
He was awesome, and just going out there every year and watching him, he was a fan favorite.
The only thing he didn't like is for a couple years there, as soon as they leave 18, the media would kind of descend on him there, and he nicely told tournament people, he goes, whatever you got to do, let me get out of there where I can breathe a little bit.
Let me,
before autograph seekers and everybody hits me there. I'm coming out of a round.
Let me decompress a little bit.
You got it.
Yeah,
we'll do it for you.
We'll do whatever you need to do. But no, you're right. I mean, Landon and I were in there before the show started, I think it was, talking, and he brought up Phil Mickelson and was like, man, he's just
persona non grata.
Any tournament he's in.
Nobody's talking about, if he completes the U.S. Open win this time.
No.
A rather anonymous winner was who he famously choked to at Winged Foot in 06 was Jeff Ogilvy.
Yeah.
Give me everything y'all got on Jeff Ogilvy.
I've got zero.
He beat Phil.
Yeah.
Very good, Landon. You're a quick study.
Yeah, no.
What can I say? I'm really good at retaining information.
I didn't even have that. You beat me to that, so quick learner.
Colin Montgomery really gets a pass. He had about a bad experience as Phil did, but everything got directed at Phil when he was bounding it off the corporate hospitality tents.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, you look at the last 2 seasons at the majors. We've completed a couple this year, cutting both of them. Last year, cutting 2 of them, T43 at the Masters, T60 at the Open Championship.
See, I thought his Masters was better than that last year, but you got it in front of you. I'm not going to argue with man, it's got the information in front of you.
73, 75, 74, 74.
That's T43. I thought it was better than that.
That's no, it was not very good. An 8 over. I mean, it just, since he has gone to live, I mean, he is, anytime he's back here,
and
he's not even a
old
factor.
Friends have shunned him.
Yeah, really have. It's sad. I mean, it really is sad to watch. Now, it's a very easy argument. It's a very clear argument. If he did it to himself,
sadly, he needed the cash.
Yeah, I mean, he chose that. He made that decision. Look, he's got plenty of money to fall back on. I mean,
we think.
Well, that's a great point.
He loved the action.
He sure did. And I'm sure still does. But, hey, you made that decision, and now I guess these are...
It's his money.
Yeah, these are the things that go with it. And so, I mean, nobody even thinking about Phil Mickelson this weekend, that he can even be a factor. Not many. We talk about it a lot this week. Not many guys that we think can be a factor.
If he strolled up 18 Sunday night at about 6 o'clock and just gave the one-finger salute, you couldn't blame him, could you? If he was the winner.
Good for him,
Especially, I mean, that is golf's poobahs at that ceremony on Sunday night. Really, I know people don't generalize it like this, really more than at Augusta. Augusta, they're at their place. At the U.S. Open, they control the world of golf, or they think. Well, they really kind of do.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if he came up 18, there you go. Take that, U.S. Open.
I will say this. You've been talking, and I'll be completely honest, I'm not very familiar with this golf course they're playing at this weekend at Oakmont, but you have said multiple times about how there is a highway that drives
Turnpike
right down the middle of this golf course. And you've said it so many times, I'm just kind of like, okay. They showed a visual of it.
Big trucks?
It blew my mind because there's like a bridge that connects it over top. I mean, I was not what I was expecting.
So let's go back to the original intent and take the Pennsylvania Turnpike up.
No, thank you. I was shocked.
That original intent crowd,
I was blown away.
They get to me.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. But let's get to another break and wrap up this second hour. When we return, we're switching gears, getting back to the NBA. Rob Fisher from the Grizzlies FanDuel Sports Sports Network. He'll join us. We'll talk the NBA Finals. We'll also talk a lot of Grizzlies, including the Zach Edey news that we all learned about last week. And we'll do that next on Sports Time.
Jenkins Floors and More invites you to the retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake. Also stores in Cleveland, Mississippi and Little Rock. They specialize in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds. Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, and family projects call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
It's time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow, next day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all of your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk at HomeDepot.com.
It's time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Spring is in the air, and it's the perfect time to grill, chill, and save with Choates. Install a new generator, tankless water heater, or Carrier HVAC system, and you'll get your choice of a free Green Egg Grill or 36 months no-interest financing. Stay powered during storms, enjoy endless hot water, and slash your cooling costs this summer with a high-efficiency Carrier system, and grill some slow-smoke barbecue on us. But hurry, this special ends soon. And if you're dealing with plumbing or electrical problems, Choates is here for you too. Give us a try and take $60 off your repair. Leaky faucet, clogged drain, broken outlet, lights flickering? Call Choates and save $60 on your plumbing or electrical repair service. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
Listen up, sports fans. Your next winning drive is at Landers Ford in Collierville. That's right. The iconic Landers Easy Pass always delivers more on your trade than their biggest discounts on your next winning drive. See it all at LandersFordRace.com. Plus, when you are Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech who comes right to your driveway with the Landers Ford Service Experience Program. They'll pick it up or fix it on the spot. Landers Ford in Collierville, ready to game plan to find you the most savings possible. You can make a trade and possibly lower your payments. And you can buy your current vehicle even if you don't buy from them. It's a tradition things all across the Mid-South line. New Fords and quality pre-owned models are arriving every day. Make a rush. Go see them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. From the 1977 Ole Miss football team that beat #1 ranked Notre Dame, ladies and gentlemen, the final play of the day is president of Landers Ford in Collierville. I'm Jim Jennings. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
This traffic report brought to you by Triangle Meat Company, feeding Memphis since 1967. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, 4790 Summer Avenue. Trust Triangle Meat Company.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. This truck crash is going to be out here for a while on 40 westbound over here at White Station. It's got it slow in both directions. Again, it laid over on its left side, an 18-wheeler. Again, that's 40 westbound and eastbound, slow over here at White Station. Building right now, trying to get south of Memphis on the Interstate 55, southbound down through South Haven. Dandelions, crabgrass, nutgrass. Lawn Solutions says give them a call. They'll take care of it. These guys are the best here in Memphis. Call Lawn Solutions 867-5626. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Biloxi. Once again, Brett Northwood and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian Brett with you live and local inside our Family Leisure Studios. And joining us now to talk the NBA, Rob Fisher from the Grizzlies FanDuel Sports Network. He joins us now. Rob, thanks so much for joining us. Before we get to any of the NBA Finals, NBA news, let's start with the Grizzlies. The news came out on Saturday that Zach Edey had re-injured his ankle, would need surgery. Shams reported that he would likely miss the start of the season. Grizzlies PR did not put a timeline on it last Saturday. Last night, we get the follow-up from Grizzlies PR. He'll be reevaluated in 4 months. What does that mean for Zach Edey? What does it mean for the Grizzlies and this offseason?
Well, what it means is you decided to start this segment by being depressed.
That's right.
Really did.
That's right. Well, I want to get it out of the way, Rob. I want to let's get it out of the way, and then we can have fun.
Remember, AMG rated radio. How did you receive the news, and what were the words out of your mouth? Remember, you got to be kidding.
Yeah. Right? I mean, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. I think when you heard the news, when you get that dreaded email of the Grizzlies medical report and see the Zach Edey news initially, your first initial reaction is you've got to be kidding me. I mean, when is it ever going to stop?
Make it stop.
And then the release comes out yesterday saying it'll be 4 months when he'll be reevaluated. And you start thinking through to yourself, all right, what is it, June 10th, June 11th now? June 11th, okay, so we're looking at October 11th. We're being reevaluated. So is he ready for the beginning of the regular season, or is he out till middle of December?
Yeah.
I think a while.
Yeah.
And must get good and well.
And if that's the case, and I don't disagree with you. If that's the case, all right, now what do we do in this offseason?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to go get a big? Is that now a necessity for this team?
And how it will hinder Ja Morant working with the new big when he was planning on working with Zach Edey, and then when Zach Edey returns, the trickle down effect of this is enormous.
This is so sad because
really
I think
is.
when you looked at this off season and you thought about next year with the players intact, not knowing what's going to happen, if any moves are going to be made or personnel is going to change, but looking at the guys intact as they are, the one guy that you thought going into next season, I can't wait to see his growth in year 2 is Zach Edey. I mean, that's I think of all the players on the team, you looked at Zach Edey and wondered, okay, this was just the start of something. What's the next step? And I think it was really exciting. I thought Summer League would be exciting just to see him dominate some little guys. Mm-hmm. And then the season would be exciting to see if he can be better and improve on what he did in his rookie campaign. To me, that was like the greatest thing to look forward to. And now it's so sad that the finals aren't even over. And we're talking about missing a guy to start the season next
40
year.
games.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what this does to Tomas Isolo out of the gate as a young head coach, I mean, it's two hands tied behind his back. It's horribly unfair to him.
Right. Well, and I mean, again, for the Grizzlies head coach, this has been a few seasons in a row now or 4 seasons in a row now that things have been kind of awkward to start the year, and you haven't been able to have your starting lineup on the floor to start the season. And that's the frustrating thing. I mean, we can all say, boy, what could this team be like if they're going to be healthy all season long? And here we go, going into another off season and knowing going into next season that that's not going to be the case to start the year. I mean, it is huge because the ramifications, again, are, will he be, I heard Eli talking about it this morning, and I think it was Taj Gibson had the same surgery. It was back in 4 months and played opening night and then played in a back-to-back like that first week. But the NBA is a little bit different now than maybe it was when that happened to Taj Gibson. And I think the treatment of Zach Edey is probably a little different than what it was with Taj Gibson. But at least that's a positive sign that a guy was back in 4 months. So, maybe the reevaluation is, hey, we're ramping it up and he's going to be back. And maybe that's the case. I would think, my belief is, the Grizzlies as an organization, his agents, they know what the actual timeline is. And if you're talking about mid to late December or into January, you've got to go get somebody. I mean, you've got to fill that need. And it's just another thing added to the list of what needs to be done with the Grizzlies this offseason. And it's another thing added to the list of things that are very difficult to get done because of where they are salary cap wise. But that would be a necessity. I mean, we're not going into next season thinking this is a team that's on the rebuild or this is a team that's a few years away. This is a team that by next season opening night should be put together to contend for a title. Right? Isn't that the expectation? Shouldn't that be the expectation?
Yes, it should be. Yeah, for sure. Here's another difference in Taj. I know Eli knows this. I know you know it. Here's a big difference between Taj Gibson and Zach Edey. About a foot. Big men.
I thought you were going to go with the pound.
Well, go with that. With that goes with the size and the stress on it. If he's back opening night, we've had a St. Jude miracle.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I always kind of expect the worst and hope for the best, more than anything. And I expect the Grizzlies will be very, very cautious. And yes, he is 7'4", and yes, he does weigh what he weighs. I mean, that ankle is very important to the career of Zach Edey.
It's a long way from ankle to the top of his head.
Yes, and there's a lot of weight between the two. So,
Rob, you make a great point.
They do need to make sure he is 100%, and that this is something that's going to be behind him. I'm not saying the Grizzlies would be wrong to make him sit out until the. I'm saying he's got to sit out until he's full, ready, and healthy, and who knows when that's going to be.
When was that last year on opening night? Hale and Hardy, this is our team, nobody out. Was it 21-22? Because then Steven Adams started having issues in the January 31st of 23. Is that right?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, last year was. Oh gosh, who did we have last year that was hurt?
Bain.
Yeah.
To start the season, Dez.
Yeah.
And the year before that, Ja was suspended.
Yeah.
And the Steven injuries.
It's too much. It's too much to count on. It really is. Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So when you do your schedule, schedule releases, only you can do it in August. You will have target dates for Edey's return.
The Edey return target date, absolutely, and the maybe the Clint Capella revenge game. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that's who the Grizzlies could go after. A couple of Clint Capella, Brooke Lopez are a couple of interesting names.
Yeah.
It really intrigues me. I mean, this offseason intrigues me so much with the Grizzlies because, as I've pointed out before, when Zach Kleiman said, that it was unacceptable and we're not close. All right, well, that leads you to believe that moves are going to be made. And so while we all are intrigued by what moves could be made this offseason, now this is added to it. What are you going to do now? And how many moves can you possibly make? And how are you going to improve the team with the limitations that you have?
And does this stop a move? Never mind making. Does this make you pause on a move?
Right, exactly. And so So I think it's just made it that much more intriguing what this offseason is going to be for the Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned a couple names in there that the Grizzlies could go after. Steven Adams is a free agent. Do you do the reunion with Steven Adams?
So is Bismack Biyombo.
Well, I don't know about old Bismack.
You're not as high on that reunion?
No.
Chris Raby's favorite player, Bismack Biyombo.
I mean, I would. I'm not opposed to Steven Adams. You know, it's a matter of how much you're going to have to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid Steve Adams is going to be like me with the revamped USFL. It was such a good chapter in my life when we had it in the early '80s. I couldn't wait till it got back, and it just wasn't that again. Things had moved on. I'm afraid if we did that again with Steve Adams, he would just be Steve Adams. It wouldn't be Steve-O.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree with that. I think, and I don't know if it ended on great terms with Steven Adams in Memphis.
No.
So I'm kind of in that boat too. That hey, been there, done that before. We could go another direction and find something maybe more reliable because, I mean, man, that's just what you need to take another risk on a guy who's got injury problems.
It's a little bit like the guy, and we've seen it, and a lot of times for the children we understand it, but the guy that or girl that divorces the other party and then they remarry. What do you think's going to be different the next time?
Yeah.
It's different for a while.
That's it. It's good intentions.
I guess, Rob Fisher joins us every week to talk the NBA. A lot of Grizzlies talk as well. Game 3 tonight in the NBA Finals, Rob. Split in OKC. What do you expect to see tonight?
I think I expect to see more of the same from OKC. Neither of these teams have played well in Game 3. Indiana hasn't won a Game 3 yet this postseason.
Oh, wow.
And I think Oklahoma's lost a couple of them, maybe.
Yeah, they've only won one. It was against the Grizzlies. That's when they came back from 29 points.
Right. So,
more good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Sorry.
Appreciate you bringing that up. I think that, they I'm sorry. I just saw a UPS truck almost hit a car, but everything's good.
Not
everything's
good.
Everything
Another reason why you
fine.
should be shipping with FedEx.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm interested to see what's going to happen tonight here in Game 3. I think we'll continue to see the best of Oklahoma City, and we'll see it. And if Oklahoma City wins, I think it's a blowout. Like what they do. I'm just interested and I told you guys this last week. The thing that interests me the most is if Indiana's close, how does Oklahoma City close? Because they've shown a tendency this year to not close really well, and in the playoffs they've had now 2 games that have been close and they've lost them both. So if Indiana can keep it close, they have a shot. Yeah, absolutely they do. But can they? So, I think if it's a close game down the stretch, I think you would look and say Indiana's going to win it. If it's not a close game down the stretch, it's because Oklahoma City's winning big. I think those are the 2 options on these games, and that's what you'll see again tonight, and that's what you'll see the rest of the series. It's just a matter of which one will it be. I tend to believe tonight we'll see the best of Oklahoma City and they'll win big.
That arena in Indianapolis, you only go in there once a year, unlike in Oklahoma City that you have so much familiarity with. Gainbridge Fieldhouse, once Conseco Fieldhouse, really the model for the throwback, look old, but all the amenity arenas. What's it like? How knowledgeable, how good are fans in that arena, Rob?
Good. It can get loud. They got a nice section of fans that are rowdy. That are in the upper deck. That are fun and loud and do chants throughout the game and try to taunt the other team and all in good nature. So that's kind of entertaining. But they can get really loud and it's a beautiful arena. I mean, it's one of the best in the league still to this day. It's a lot like FedEx Forum, that it is a basketball arena. It's not a hockey arena. It's a basketball arena. So you're on top of the action. I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house.
Were you invited on the field trip of the Memphis media to go see it?
No.
I did not make the cut either, Robin. I'm still bitter over it.
No, I didn't. I'm not bitter about it. I've seen it plenty. But and they have there's a guy when you walk off the court and head back towards the media room. There's a gentleman who works there, and I forget I think his name is Philip. I think he will say hello, and he remembers every person's name when they come walking back.
One of those.
Wow.
Like you said, Stats, we're there once a year.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And we will walk in, and he'll be like, "Hey, Rob, how you doing? How are the shoes?" And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Well, they're a little tight, Philip, but
he'll say hey to Brevin. He'll say hi to Pete, and it's like, wow.
That's
I mean,
sharp.
this guy like studies the media guide to know who everybody's name is, and that's one of the best things about that arena. But it's a beautiful place. I love it. I love going there.
Right downtown?
Yeah. Oh, right in the heart of downtown. Walking distance from everywhere downtown.
Near the shrimp place?
Oh, walking distance from the shrimp place. Yeah.
Well, a good
You
location.
went rogue this year. You're going to a new shrimp place.
We did. It's what's the? Why am I forgetting the name of the place?
I don't know why I can't remember it either.
It's a place in Indianapolis. Gosh. Anyway, they have like a sister station.
Yeah.
a sister restaurant, and they have the same stuff. They got the same shrimp cocktail.
St. Elmo's.
The whole deal.
I hit the Google
St.
machine.
Elmo's.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. St. Elmo's, and they have this other restaurant that they have the same shrimp cocktail. It's a more casual place.
Smaller crowd.
But they got the same. They got the same steaks and all that stuff. So we tried that last year. It was great.
Is the sauce that hot? Can it tear your head off?
It'll get you.
Yeah.
If you're not ready for it, it'll get you. But it takes some getting used to. But once you get used to it, it's one of the best. It's great. It'll clean you out.
Well, I guess that's not my style. I certainly would not enjoy that.
Oh, you got to try it. It's fantastic.
I've got to. Rob, last week when you joined us, we talked about the Knicks' decision to part ways with Tom Thibodeau. Now, over the last 24 hours, they've gone out and tried to interview every current head coach, it feels like. Got turned down by Minnesota, got turned down by Houston, got turned down by Dallas. What do you think the Knicks are doing right now? What do you make of this coaching search?
I think it's rather humorous. And my question to the Knicks would be, who the hell you think y'all are?
No kidding. I mean, that's not a destination job.
We're just going to go get this guy.
And they just did.
No, you're not.
Thibodeau like this.
Mm-hmm. Right. So now they've what, been denied by 3?
That's right.
All right, so now where do they go? So now it's their 4th choice? They're already on their 4th choice and haven't interviewed a person yet.
I guess so. It's not great.
I think it's hysterical.
Not good
and
for
I think
business.
it's very Knicks.
It really is.
Stats for years. How many years in a row did we talk about? Oh, hey, and it would be like in January, and the big story would come out that the Knicks are going to get Kevin Durant this offseason.
It was the perfect place for the 2-week phenomenon known as Jeremy Lin.
Yes, and that's the biggest star that they had. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, for years they've been swinging for stars free agency-wise and have come up short time and time again.
They hit with Bronson. But he was no superstar.
But did anybody think Brunson would even be close to what he is?
No, and I a little bit question the sustainability of that, and can that ever lead you to a championship?
No, I think that's fair, and his lack of defensive ability.
For sure.
That leads
got
you to a
torched.
championship. Yeah. So I don't know. I find it very Knicks, though, because we've seen him strike out with big free agents in the past. And now to just have the gall to think they could just go poach a coach from wherever they won, and to be 0 for 4 or 0 for 3, I think is rather comical at this point.
No, it is pretty funny.
Rob, it was a fun little May with the Cardinals, wasn't it? Cute little May.
I guess so.
That was fun.
It was cute. It was cute. I sat at the pool today and watched the Cardinals game, and I told my friend Coach Carl, whose pool it is. Thanks, Coach, for letting me swim in your pool. I just told him, I said, they're so boring.
Yeah, they really are.
That game today was just so boring.
There's nobody to game plan around.
I figured out why I don't like Brendan Donovan. I figured it out.
Please, because I'm still trying to figure it out.
I figured it out by watching over the weekend.
Because they call him Donnie?
Well, he's got a lot of hits with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Todd Zeal. It's the Todd Zeal effect.
A whole bunch of them.
Stacks up a bunch of numbers that mean nothing.
Exactly. That's why.
I was in Busch Stadium July 4th, 1994. The Cardinals lose 14-5 to the Astros. Todd Zeal goes 4 for 4, has all 5 RBI in a 14-5 loss.
Holy cow.
I said, this is a Todd Zeal day.
Yeah, it sure was. That's a great observation by you, Rob. I mean, he's not a.
I mean, I just noticed it.
That's why you're an expert.
That's exactly right.
That's why you're a professional.
Yeah. Well,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Which I bet the Cardinals today, so that tells you how
that made
big
it even more fun in the pool, didn't it?
You win some, you lose some, I guess. Well, Rob, as always,
Great
thanks
stuff,
so much
man.
for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week.
Well, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Rob Fisher joining us every week. Always fun.
Well, we've turned on the Cardinals today, haven't
we? We have. We'll see what the rest of the week has in store. This series was not fun at all. But, hey, coming back down to earth. Well, we got to get to a break, but before we do that, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsors, Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the new 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, the 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com. Head out there and test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince, for Bluff City Jaguar. We need to get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home or office. Call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 or visit MemphisMoldInspector.com.
Pools, and more pools. Yes, it is pool time at Family Leisure. Family Leisure is already booking pool installs, so you need to buy now and get on that list. 24-foot pools start at $19.99 install. Liners are starting at $2.99. You're going to need some pool accessories, so they're all up to 20% off. Not quite ready for a pool? That's fine.
Get a 5 or 6 person hot tub starting at under $7,000. You can also go for a swim spa or perhaps a cold plunge tub. Those are now $2,000 off. Get patio furniture up to 50% off on select sets. Buy your pool now. Get on that install list. Mention this commercial, and your install is free. It's underlined in the in bold print, so you know it's big. It's pool time at Family Leisure. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Did you know there are so many roofing companies in Memphis that I don't even know them all? So that begs the question, which one should you choose? So I thought I'd give you a little background about me. My grandfather was a World War II Marine. My father worked for the University of Memphis for nearly 30 years. My mother, a pianist at Raleigh Baptist Church. Seems like forever. I went to Brownsville Road, Craigmont, and Bartlett High School, class of 81. We support the local school systems, youth athletics, and believe in what St. Jude and Le Bonheur stand for. I'm a Tiger and Grizz fan. The point? Memphis is my home. Five-Ash Roofing will be around if you ever have a problem with the service we provide. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical, with deep local ties in our community. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Extraordinary events from once in a blue moon, and right now, even the most extravagant luxuries are well within reach. The one and only May sale is back at Sissy's Log Cabin, and you can save up to 50% on nearly everything in the store. This is your chance to get the service, selection, and experience that makes you feel like family at the best prices of the year. Guaranteed. Don't miss the one and only May sale at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
This traffic brought to you by Raleigh Tire Auto Service, your local family-owned business for over 60 years.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Of course, the big story here in Memphis is this truck crash. It's still getting some attention over here. It's a mess. 40 east and west around White Station. Not sure if it was fully loaded, but it laid over on its left side. Again, it crashed over here in the eastbound lanes. Westbound's been slow as well on I-40 at White Station as it builds south of Memphis on 55 right now down through DeSoto County. Dandelions, crabgrass, Lawn Solutions here in town says give them a call. Lawn Solutions, 867-5626. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending. I want to get back a little bit into Game 3 tonight of the NBA Finals, but some other NBA news, more off-season news coming out. Shams Charania doing a lot of reporting since last night about a lot of different things happening. It started last night when he tweeted out the New York Knicks requested permission to speak to Minnesota Timberwolves coach Chris Finch and Houston Rockets coach Ime Udoka for their head coach job. But both were denied on both. Sources tell ESPN Knicks could request permission for other current head coaches too. Today, he tweeted out the New York Knicks requested permission Wednesday morning to speak with Mavericks coach Jason Kidd, and Dallas gave a firm rejection, sources tell ESPN. Knicks have been denied now of Kidd, Minnesota's Chris Finch, and Houston's Ime Udoka.
Go find your own coach.
What did they expect? Did they expect Houston was just going to go, oh yeah, this coach that really just fell in our lap and has done a phenomenal job with our organization? Sure, you can interview him. Go crazy. I mean, that makes no sense. Really, no, all three of those don't make sense.
It really goes to what Brian Gelzahler was telling us yesterday of the Dolan Knicks arrogant / not seriousness sometimes about some subject matter. And this one just, first of all, it's not that coveted.
No. And I mean, I think there were some rumors out there that Ime Udoka would maybe be interested in it. I think it's just kind of being in that kind of big-time job, again, being in New York, a lot of eyes on you. Jason Kidd, I more understand why he would be interested in it.
And look how they just did a very successful coach.
That's exactly right. I don't know why anybody would want the job. I mean, when you go to the Eastern Conference Finals and you get thrown out. But, Jason Kidd played there. He has a good relationship with that front office and people in that
Jason
organization.
Kidd won a championship with Dallas.
Yeah, and so, I mean,
And just took them to a finals last year.
Exactly. So, I mean, I understand why they're going
Championship as a
out
player.
and trying to get these guys, but I'm not surprised. I mean, it would have shocked me if any of those teams had been like, yeah, go ahead and interview our guy.
What's the prospect list look like now?
Well, I mean, I think
because they almost got a quorum on being turned down.
Oh, I mean, it really feels like you said. I mean, there was no plan in this. It was just like, hey, we don't like Tibbs. Let's go fire him and let's just figure out what happens. I mean, I think we talked about it last week of Johnny Bryant, the longtime assistant with New York. He was with Cleveland this year. He was the betting favorite about a week ago. It feels like he's their option. I mean, it feels like he's the only option out there unless they want to go and hire one of these head coaches like Taylor Jenkins or Michael Malone, one of the guys that, got fired at the end of last season. But I really don't know where they go.
The Johnny Bryant choice might be one of those. I'll end up having to applaud the Knicks if it's the case. I think in any college or pro search, have your guy will say yes. Well, but I'm going to go whale hunting. I'm going to go shop around, and if I can land Ime Udoka or any of those any of those no's so far that's been being racked up, okay, that's fine because I know this guy's going to say yes, and I can live with him.
Exactly, and that's the thing. If a week, 2 weeks down the road, the Knicks hire and they announce Johnny Bryant is our next head coach, then it's a completely different conversation. Of course you're going to go out and try to interview Ime Udoka. You're going to go out and try to interview Jason Kidd and Chris Finch. You're going to do that. You got to. I mean, if you have an opening, you at least got to try. And so if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, I think it's a completely different story. If they go out there and hire, Taylor Jenkins, love Taylor Jenkins, but I think it would be more of he was option C or D because he would have been one that you immediately say, he's our guy, we don't have to interview any of these guys. So I do think if Johnny Bryant is the guy, all of this makes a lot more sense.
But we know at any level, when you get down to that, I knew he'd say yes. And that was Josh Pastner here a long time ago. They knew he would say yes. So they went out and got turned down or not interested by a lot of people. Then that school, that team, that franchise, whatever it is, they have to overcompensate at the presser and go, we searched the world over. And, we had people that were wanting this job. We had people we were interested in. And then we realized the brilliance of fill in the blank.
Yeah. After
he was sitting right here. Yeah.
We just couldn't say no to this guy when we went
around the world looking for him.
Nobody's buying that.
My favorite is, he was right down the hall from us when you hired the defensive coordinator because everybody else has said no.
Yeah, the whole time he was right down the hall. No, that was the last resort to go down and
of course that guy is going to take it. Because he wants his shot, and I'll show him. I have that attitude of I'll show them. I should have been the first choice. I know they were all lying at my presser about how much they love me.
Yeah. Well, and I think if you're
and if they don't win, they're going to miss you too because you're out.
That's very true. And maybe part of it is one of those guys who's looking for their first head coaching job and looking to get out there. You'll take it, and
like Josh here.
Yeah, and you might. We're starting to see nowadays. Whether it's basketball, baseball, any sport, any professional sport, those front offices want to have their hands in on a lot of the coaching decisions. One of those guys that's going from assistant coach, head coach, he might be a little more willing to just say, okay, yeah, well, I'll go with that, rather than Ime Udoka. I think if Ime Udoka comes in and someone from that front office goes down and says, hey, coach, we really think you should be playing this guy over Mikal Bridges, he's going to go, I'll coach my team, you worry about front office stuff, get out of here. Maybe one of those guys that's just looking for their first job.
You better win first.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So we will see what the Knicks do. Got to make a decision soon, and it looks like with some of this news coming out that they're trying to hammer this down and get this wrapped up. The other news, Shams Charania reported earlier today. ESPN reporting the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner are sorting through trade options with interested teams, mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, and New York. So that is a much longer list than what we have kind of been hearing over the last couple of days. It really feels like San Antonio is the leader in the clubhouse right now, but a handful of teams that are seriously interested, and they're trying to figure out which is the best spot.
What's your surprise on that list?
I would say probably Minnesota.
Me too. That's the one that stood out. He's not going there.
No, he's definitely not going there. I think all the other options make a lot of sense, and you can really kind of get behind. Even a team like Miami, obviously they're looking to any way they can possibly improve that team and make a splash. You're in, Miami. You're going to be able to go out and do the big fish hunting because of that area and that weather and those beaches and kind of everything that comes along with being in Miami.
Sold.
Yeah, I mean it's very easy to LeBron James. It was a very easy decision for him to go from Cleveland to Miami and play for them. So no, that doesn't surprise me. New York obviously trying to get over that hump and to the NBA Finals. That doesn't surprise me at all. We know Houston, San Antonio has been talked about a ton. So it feels like, in the next week or so, we'll have some news on where Kevin Durant is going to end up. And hey,
that starts it.
If it's Miami, great. I would love for it to be Miami. If it's New York, I'd love for it to be New York. But I feel like it's probably going to be one of Houston or San Antonio. And I saw there was one, and I don't remember who reported this earlier today, of a trade that was being kind of floated out there, or at least talked about. And it was a trade that, just looking at it, it was declined. But just looking at it, it would have been huge for San Antonio. Get Kevin Durant, really didn't give up. You gave up pieces, but none of those big stars that we've talked about. It feels like if they can get out of here with, keeping Stephon Castle and keeping some of those core guys, and they'll be a problem this coming up season.
And to a degree, Miami and San Antonio kind of cousins. Maybe even twin brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of San Antonio, the Miami of the West,
Certainly.
and Miami, the San Antonio of the East.
No doubt about it. Heat culture, Spurs culture. They don't really have it, but
a good worldview.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean it is a lot of things going right, even when times are rough.
Do a lot of things right.
Mm-hmm. They really are very close. I think that it makes a lot of sense.
The lean years aren't that lean.
No, you're exactly right. And I think you can even go and look further. When we were all talking about who's going to be Pop's replacement, the first person everyone pointed to was Spo. Oh, it'd be easy. Go get Spo from Miami and let him be the replacement.
And he's kind of the next Pop league-wide.
That's exactly right. So you're right. No, they are very similar. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but it looks like something soon.
Who's the Grizzlies' cousin?
I've never really thought about that.
Who's the East equivalent of the Grizzlies? I have one. It's easy.
Please.
Atlanta. Market.
That's pretty good.
Similar.
It's really good.
Success feels like there's a ceiling to it.
Mm-hmm.
The lean years can get ugly, can get really, really lean.
Yeah.
That's why they call them lean.
Go even further, injuries have been a factor for both teams in recent years.
Atlanta's been around longer.
Sure, I like that.
But San Antonio's been around longer than Miami.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really good comparison. That's really I never thought about it before, but you were right on the money there.
College football world.
Yeah, no, you are exactly right. That is a perfect cousin, twin, whatever you want to call it, for the Grizzlies.
Big college team in town, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so no, I'm definitely there on that. That's a really good one. Tonight, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. We talked about it a lot earlier. Who knows what happens? I mean, obviously, it's not a massive spread. It's about 5.5. We talked about that yesterday. It moved up. It was around 4.5 when it opened. Now up to 5.5 for OKC. It feels like it's going to be hard in my opinion, for OKC to go down 2-1. And kind of what we were talking about in Game 2. It'd be hard for them to go down 2-0.
Well, I said earlier it's must.
It feels like a big game, certainly for the Pacers, if they really want to be a threat to go out and win this game. I feel pretty good about OKC tonight, though.
I feel pretty good about Indiana tonight.
I hope you're right. I would love.
If we're going to have a
Indiana
series,
win.
it's must.
You're right. And we talked about that earlier. I mean, the Pacers have to come out with intensity, and those two stars, they've got to be really, really good tonight. We saw them okay, but, obviously need more from Pascal Siakam, need more from Tyrese Halliburton. Obviously at home, I think they'll be able to be a little more relaxed. Those role players, I think, will step up a lot more, just being at home, being more comfortable in that arena. So it's going to be a lot of fun later tonight, 7:30 on ABC, and we'll see who takes the upper hand in this series.
Yeah, I want a classic series, and after game one, we thought we may have one. It felt like Oklahoma City really figured a lot out, though.
No, they absolutely did, and that's kind of what they're good at. And so we've seen, some stinkers for OKC in really every series. We'll see if game one was the stinker. Maybe they pull one on the road against Indiana. And hey, if you're Indiana, you can go up 2-1, then you are definitely feeling really good going into game four.
Will be fun to watch. I missed it last night. It was a baseball night last night.
Was.
Ready for a little more variety than just baseball night. Speaking of variety, you get it at Jason's Deli at any of the great locations. And this weekend to celebrate Dad. A lot of times, a lot of dads on Father's Day, they just want to be left alone. Bring the food into Dad. And for sure, bring the desserts in for any occasion. A lot of people coming in out of town all weekend. You're going to need a lot of food and a lot of variety. In Jason's Deli, they have that for any occasion you will be taken care of. And the strawberry shortcake, just perfect this time of year. That screams summer. That screams Father's Day. Take care of old Dad that way at any of these locations. Ridgeway Road, across from MUS, Poplar and Highland, by the University of Memphis, down in Olive Branch, out in Cordova. And at Jason's Deli, it's all about health. First franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. Jason's Deli, all about choice, whether you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals. You will be delighted at any of these locations. Plenty of organic food to choose from. That great salad bar, over 30 items there for you to prepare your salad however you would like it. Catering, anytime, anywhere in that catering, all three meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner time, low delivery fees. Same day and last minute orders welcomed. If you feel like you don't have your event planned just right, like Vacation Bible School events going on right now, step aside, let them step in, and they will take care of you at Jason's Deli. Off the menu, the Mesa Chicken Salad, the Big Chef Salad, my favorite, the Taco Salad, all the soups, all the breads, all the spreads, everything at Jason's Deli that you've come to know and love through the years. They have it with all these locations like Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. In every location, top it off with the complimentary free ice cream. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
We talked to Clayton earlier about the College World Series. I was a little surprised. He said all the teams arriving today, and Arizona arrived last night. I was a little surprised.
It's a long time to sit and wait.
Especially those teams that are playing on Saturday. I mean, you're getting here on a Wednesday and not playing until Saturday. That's a lot of days off.
It is.
But I'm sure things to do up there being the College World Series, obviously getting a feel for that ballpark. And you mentioned it with him. That ballpark plays big, so maybe getting a few batting practices in there, getting some reps out there, getting a look at it.
Plays big like Hoover.
It sure does. That might be a really good thing for those teams. I'm excited for Friday to get that action. It really was a lot of fun catching up with Clayton. I made a fact to be the one calling him so I could chit-chat a little bit with him off the phone. He really is, so it was fun catching up with him. But we got to get to our final break, and when we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Crunch Time.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgess. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in the 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or in our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef. And she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from the Mediterranean diet to steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meat. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer.
but Brother Nick's figured out salt and pepper is more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with the perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are made in our rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it. A beloved family affair is still going strong since 1948. Rendezvous.
Everything today is technologically based. Well, except maybe you. If you're struggling with tech, no matter what kind, call Tech for You. Tech for You for TVs, home theaters, cameras, smart locks, digital storage, and more. Tech for You makes it simple and affordable. Call 697-9695. Make your home safe, comfortable, and up to date with Tech for You. Stop struggling with tech. Call 697-9695. Veteran owned and operated Tech for You. Technology simplified.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With two big airlines and the largest patch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. I have been told that my ads are all business and I should share some of my personality. Okay, I love tongue twisters, like the one about the terrific tasting toast by Taste Tester Toaster, or Big Black Bugs, Bleed Blue Blood, and of course Sally and her seashells. Or of course the ever-present I'm a Mother Pheasant Plucker, I plug Mother Pheasants. Okay, enough of that. If you want an honest, fair, reasonable roofing, siding, or gutter estimate, call Five-Ash Roofing at 367-0050. That's exactly what you'll get. No empty promises, no high-pressure sales tactics, and no fast-talking salesman trying to convince you that today and only today is the best day for you to get a new roof. For the record, the best day to get a new roof is when you're ready for one. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live.
In your life have you seen anything like that?
Goodbye! Hello, Haskins. It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Well, Crunch Time is brought to you every afternoon by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. And how about you go down there tonight, get to the closest Moe's to you, and try the Moe's Value Meal. Only $9.95. Get you a junior burrito, 2 ounces of queso, and a drink for only $9.95. That's a steal if I have ever heard one. Always thank you to Moe's for being with us. Well, Brett, what I learned this afternoon, it's something I learned yesterday, didn't have enough time to talk about it yesterday, but the NCAA Playing Rules Oversight Panel approved changes to help enhance the flow of game in men's basketball for the 2025-26 season.
Will it work?
We'll see. But I do think it is a step in the right direction. Yeah. And the biggest thing from all of this, any takeaway, is that coaching challenges are coming to college basketball. I think this is a good thing. So now, instead of everyone just throwing their hands up, going review, the rest looking at each other and going, all right, I guess we'll review this. You have to have a challenge now as a coach in order to start a review for out of bounds and different things like that.
I think progress.
There are going to be like smaller things, time issues, clock issues, different things like that. If it's a 2 or a 3 that the rest can go and look at, because they found in their data that isn't as extensive of a delay than some of those out of bounds calls. But I do think it is a step in the right direction. We'll see this year if it actually works, but it feels like this is something that could help some of those games, because we talked about it a lot during basketball season. You were having games that were supposed to start at 2 o'clock, and you wouldn't get over there till about 2:30 to start watching those games.
Well, and it would roll until that last media timeout, 4-minute mark. The last 3 minutes in college basketball just got interminable. I so wish they would eliminate the parade of timeouts. Here's when you know you have too many timeouts in a sport. The use it or lose it timeout.
That's exactly right.
Get rid of it. What I learned today, the Cardinals' great month, and it was a great month of May, has led to it's led to what usually happens. Water finding its level, my saying.
Yeah.
And it's found it in June so far. I don't even care what happened earlier, but the last 2 nights losing 5-4 and 10-9, that was tough to watch. There's just too many teams that are simply better in the National League. They are.
Yeah, and you're seeing it. I think it might be coming at a right time, because if you can decide, hey, we're not really that good, we're not going to be able to do anything postseason or really make a push, then hey, it's before trade deadline. You can start working out some of those
deals.
They're
just not that good.
No, they really are not. And speaking of the Cardinals, it takes me right to what I could have done without. We talked a little bit earlier about the Athletic. We talked about them a while ago doing the anonymous player survey in the NBA. They brought it to Major League Baseball, and this was one of the questions in the anonymous player survey. Which manager, aside from your own, it'd be really bad if you picked your own manager for this, which manager, aside from your own, would you not want to play for? 40 respondents. Obviously, this is one of the more that people didn't really want to vote for this one. 40 response, 2 tied at the top, 5 apiece. Bud Black, Ali Marmol, the other coach tied at the top that you at least want to play for, voted on by 40 Major League Baseball players. It's not a good list you want to be on if you're Ali Marmol.
He doesn't have a lot of standing.
No,
and the Cardinals fired him. They were mad at Mike Schilt, and they fired Ali Marmol and hired Mike Schilt.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just no difference.
They're the exact same person.
I could have done without the NBA Finals. Ratings are down. That was predictable. The smaller markets we know are hurting, but the league must realize we got to market more than just LeBron and just the Knicks.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Right now, they're not going to get to $10 million per game. Last fall, now it was Dodgers-Yankees. Baseball did $15 million World Series.
Wow.
You think NBA heads know that?
No chance. No chance at all. Some of the other names on this, which manager would you not want to play for? Mike Schilt on the list. He was one shy of Ali Marmol with 4 votes. Ron Washington had 4 votes out of the 40. That surprised me a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit.
Take him serious.
No, that's true. He's getting up there. Dave Roberts received 2 votes on this. Now 40 votes, only 40 people voting. You get into the 2s, then you're on this list. But I thought a really interesting anonymous player survey over on The Athletic. Where are you beaming tonight?
Indianapolis, Game 3, must win for the Pacers. Said it a lot today. Rick Carlisle, all-time in the playoffs. 84 and 84.
Yeah, well, I guess tonight you're either above 500 or under 500. One way or the other. Yeah, I got to beam to Game 3 as well. Really excited to see what Indiana looks like, what that environment is like for Game 3. It feels like it's going to be a lot of fun. The energy feels like it's going to be there, especially because they got one on the road. We talked about it. That's all they wanted, for them to be able to go out there and win a game on the road. It feels like a lot of energy is going to be brought tonight, and we'll see. Can they steal one on the road tonight? Or at home tonight, I should say.
Halliburton must be a superstar, not just a good player, not just a star player, superstar player. Yankees in Kansas City again tonight, 30,000 there last night. Yankees in town, you need to be sold out. And tonight we'll watch live from the U.S. Open on golf. Picks tonight. It's going to be landslide for Scotty.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Scotty or nobody is what it feels like. It should be a really fun night, obviously, with Game 3 of the NBA Finals. A little bit of baseball action in there as well. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be a